Yeah, feel free to say something, guys. We're live here on the interwebs. Welcome back,
Hello,
everybody.
everyone. Hi.
Hello.
Wow, this looks amazing. Huh. Okay, well, welcome to Bingothon Winter 2020. We're the Monster Rancher 2 crew, and we're going to be doing a fun double bingo here.
Fun is... It might be fun.
I suppose it's subjective, but
Yeah.
we do have a list of incentive names for all of our racers here. And actually, well, let's introduce our racers, shall we? Let's start with Lexi on the far left there.
Hello, my name's Lexi. I'm mostly known in the community for having made a program to help people make competitive monsters by viewing the hidden stats in the game.
Yeah, very useful tool, the advanced viewer. Thank you so much, Lexi. How about Nash?
Hey guys, I'm Nash. I'm one of the newer people in the community. I've been playing this game since I was like 10 years old, but I only joined the Discord like a year ago. It's been a lot of fun, and yeah. I mean, great game. Great game.
Also the host of the recurring Monster Rancher Battle League. We do host our own little tournaments in the community, and Nash has just been killing himself doing all of these tournaments twice a week. Really awesome. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, man.
And last but certainly not least, JP, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm JP. I've been in the community, I think, for about 2 to 3 years now. And I think I'm most known in the community for raising a really crappy tournament monster named Professor Ivern. I also used to host the Joy of Ranching tournament series. But after a year of hosting those ended, and now I'm kind of hosting new tournaments. And I'm glad to be here.
All right, excellent. So, thanks everybody for joining, and if we have the list of incentive names and the order in which they descend, I'm kind of looking at the list right now, and it's looking like Waluigi's first, Piantissimo's second, and we don't have one for third. Oh, hi, Charlie.
Hi.
Yeah, I guess for the third one, you can, I don't know, choose for yourself or...
Mm-hmm.
Engine
Roll the
usually has a
dice
list
or
of names that we can use.
Mm-hmm.
Because the name determines the seed in this randomized version of the game. So, yeah.
Let's just keep it easy, shall we? And we'll give you Mario.
Okay, so who's who?
We'll have JP as Waluigi, Lexi as Piantissimo, and then you can be Mario.
I'll be Mario. Okay.
Just a question, how do I end up spelling Piakissimo?
It's a fair question. I've screwed up spelling it a couple of times. There you go. I DM'd you, Lex.
Thank you.
Hopefully having a longer name doesn't hurt you in the long run.
And yeah, 'cause I know you and Alina sat down and figured out a bunch of seeds like a while ago just for testing, but like we have absolutely no idea what we're gonna get.
Yeah, so as you mentioned earlier, we're playing a edited or a altered version of this game where you get random monsters from the shrine every season, and one of the factors that determines what monsters you get is the name. But it looks like all of our racers are set up now. So everybody, if you're ready, I'll count you down, and then we'll get started.
Right.
Okay.
All right. In 3, 2, 1, go. All right. Well, this is fun and interesting for anybody who hasn't even heard of the Monster Rancher series before. This is Monster Rancher 2. It was released in 1999, and it was definitely a part of that big category of raise a monster and battle it. You know, it kind of falls in line with Pokemon, Digimon, a few others. What set Monster Rancher apart is a couple of things. Certainly, first and foremost is the shrine and how you obtain monsters. You use CDs just lying around your house. Could be other PlayStation games. Could be music discs. And it's always fun to check all of the discs that you have. But with this altered version, what we've done is we used a mod to be able to get a random monster from the shrine every month, or rather every season. Normally you would just get a regular Mochi every time if you just use the game disc. But now, depending on your name, the year in the game, and the season, you get a random monster. And looks like we got a couple already going to the shrine, Lex and Nash. JP opted to go to the market and grab a Suezo right away. Lexi's got herself a Plant Zoom. And Nash, aka Moose Bones, got himself an Arrowhead Suezo. Very alien-looking monster. Oh my. Oh, well, actually, all of these monsters so far have been pretty alien, haven't they? But, yeah, so another fun factor of this game is that there's main breeds and sub-breeds. So, Plants obviously being a plant-like monster. Lexi's Plant Zoom is a sort of dinosaur scaled-looking plant. Nash's Arrowhead Suezo is a giant crab monster combined with Suezo, which is kind of the mascot for the series, sort of. It's a bit of a tie between Suezo and Mochi, I think. But JP managing to get himself a Gabu Tiger. He mentioned that he raises Mox, which are like tree-like monsters. But his second favorite monster of all time is Gabu. So good for him. He got himself something that he really enjoys. I suppose we could take a look at the card here. There's a lot of different things you can do in the game, from unlocking rare monsters, going to battles, feeding your monster tons of different items, building up their stats. With this card here, it looks like we have a pretty good balance of giving your monsters specific items, finding items on adventures. Fun fact, for Europe, it's actually called Monster Rancher because unlike in Japan and the US, this is the first game released in the region. That's true, yes. Monster Rancher 2 had an interesting international release, that's for sure. There's, depending on where you got the game, there might be different glitches, and there might be completely different names as well. It looks like Lexi is kind of stuck on giving your monster a new item, a new food item at the beginning of the month. I think she's probably just looking at the card, trying to decide what to go with. There are a few goals where you have to feed a monster a specific item for 12 months of the year. But perhaps she was just making sure there wasn't one of those on the card before beginning. I'm just having a look. There are a couple really difficult goals here. 999 damage is possible in a quick bingo, but you really have to increase your damage stat, which there's 2 damage stats in the game. There's power and intelligence, and those are specific for power or intelligent moves. Determines the power of those. And then, of course, you have your life, which is how much health you have in battles. You have speed and defense. Speed increases your evasiveness in battle, and defense, well, how well you can take a hit. And skill, which helps you hit your opponent. So, skill is kind of widely regarded as one of the most important stats, because, well, you can't win if you don't hit your opponent. But we do have a couple of goals that work really well together. 800 plus intelligence and 800 plus speed do help each other, because there are what's called heavy drills, where you'll earn a lot in one stat and a little bit in another. And the leap drill gives you a lot of intelligence and a little speed, so perhaps we'll see somebody go for both of those. 800 is not an easy number to get very quickly. Here we have Nash going to his first tournament, the Blue Sky Cup, and we'll kind of get a glimpse of how battles work in this game. It's sort of like a 2D fighter, where opponents are on a, facing each other, moving forwards and backwards. And as they move into different slots. Oh, you're right. Ariados. Leap is the reverse. I said intelligence and speed. It's actually speed and then intelligence. But Nash, able to mark off his first goal, commit foolery 3 times in one battle. Foolery is when your monster has very little loyalty, and it's kind of just confused. You tell it what to do, and it just kind of shakes its head like, wait, could you say that again? Could you repeat that? Makes it a lot easier to hit, and actually slows your guts as well. Guts is what's used to use moves in battle. You'll see each move has a certain guts cost, that little number next to the name. You need to have that much guts, at least, in order to attack. And one of the best strategies in battle is to build up your guts as much as you can, and then attack, because there is something called guts advantage, where if you have more guts than your opponent, you have higher accuracy and more damage as well. JP also in battle, also going to the... Or no, sorry, he's going to the Freshman's Cup. This is a bit of a different battle. It's interesting that he chose to go to this one, because this is a little bit more difficult, especially for a new monster. Nash, on the other hand, fighting Oakley Man, the bane of the E-rank tournaments, which is something I haven't quite touched on just yet, is that in this game there are different ranks. S through E, or rather A through E, and then S being the highest tier. And the objective of the game is to move up the ranks and then eventually beat what's called the Major 4 tournaments, some of the strongest monsters in the game. And once you've defeated all 4, congratulations, you beat the game, the credits roll. But that's not the end of the game. You could continue to raise monsters, and you could also face some other tournaments as well that are unlocked after you beat the game. So there's a lot to do in this, and there's about 380 different monsters to raise, with all the different combinations and all the different rare monsters as well. Yeah, go bankrupt. It is a nice goal. There are some silly goals in here. this game is certainly full of them, full of fun and interesting things to do. Yeah, it's it's too real almost. Yeah, children can go bankrupt in this game. They can also pick up monsters from a market and battle them. There's a lot of interesting regulations and rules in this universe. Like, it's totally okay to just sell monsters on the market and then raise them and feed them potatoes every month. Certainly an interesting concept, and I think they did very well with it. This is one of my favorite games from childhood because this is so. This game has so much character. Yeah, they're monsters. Yeah, they're not real, but they'll have their own little charms, you know? Oh, unfortunately, Nash ended up losing the Blue Sky Cup. If I had to guess, I'd say he's going to try for win 8 tournaments. That is a fairly doable goal, absolutely. Especially if you go to smaller tournaments like the Blue Sky Cup or like elimination tournaments. And JP going up against Nats, a pure hair. I'm sure you saw that Nats got back up again after being KO'd. That's because of a battle special called Grit, where, yeah, if you're brought down to 0 health, you might have a small chance of coming back with 1. Of course, that kind of puts you in a terrible spot anyways, but certainly better than losing the match right out. So JP winning the first tournament among the 3 racers here. And that's one of those F-rank tournaments as well. So he could be going for row 1, although that does have a slightly difficult goal of unlock Durahan. Durahan is like a living armor monster, probably one of the most badass designs in the game. And in order to unlock him, you gotta go on an adventure, you gotta find a specific item, and then you gotta go to a battle in a specific rank. It's
Hey, Engine, just real quick. I need answer on the rules here.
Yeah,
So
sure.
if I go bankrupt and start a new game, does that count?
It does, yes. So
okay.
You would have to select the same name, so don't forget
That's
what
fine.
your
I'll do
player
that.
name is.
Okay, that's the plan though.
Okay. Yeah, that is certainly an interesting goal because when you go bankrupt, that's game over. So what we've done with that specific rule is, yes, you can go bankrupt and you can start the game again, but you have to start from fresh. In fact, maybe I should have specified that with Nash. You can't just reload. You got to start all over again. Well, hopefully, maybe I'll send him a DM just in case. There. Now, hopefully, that kind of clears up any possible confusion with Nash. So, like playing games with your monster? Yeah, there's beat your monster in sumo. Sometimes your monster will ask to play. And depending on what kind of monster it is, it might want to do sumo, which is kind of a version of rock, paper, scissors, which is kind of the bane of my existence. It's a very difficult goal to achieve because, well, beating your monster in sumo, how do I explain this? The game doesn't exactly tell you how to do it. It says, yeah, mash the button, but it never really seems to work out that way. Oh yeah, Lex just marked off wins losses mirrored on grid. That is a very RNG heavy goal. Because exactly what that is it's either all wins or all losses in the top right of the grid, and then the reverse on the bottom left. Did I say top left? Top right and bottom left. You'll see the grid here with Nash's battle. And it's tough because, well, you got to rely on the AI to win specific matches. And, well, it's tough to just rely on it, you know? So the fact that Lexi was able to get that, we'll see if maybe she'll decide to go with column 2 now that she has 2 goals in there. I'm not exactly sure what everybody's going to be going for here. If I had to guess, I'd say maybe column 2 and row 3 would be my choices. It's I see a lot of synergy. There's Crab's Claws in inventory on column 4, row 3. You can only win Crab's Claws in tournaments, so that works really well with the Win 8 tournaments. 3 different drugs on one monster. One of the easiest way to get drugs is to send your monster to battles and win them as prizes. Finish one tech chain. Tech chains are interesting in this game because it's almost exactly what it sounds like. When you use a certain move a number of times, you can go to errantry and unlock an even stronger version of that move. So that could go well with the Win 8 tournaments as well, because you're going to all those battles anyways. Yeah, you win performance-enhancing drugs when you go to battles sometimes. JP marking off Troncy. Troncy is when your monster is very tired and it just decides, you know, I'm not going to do this drill. And it just walks away. It's a fairly easy goal to achieve. All you have to do is just treat your monster very poorly. Lexi currently going on errantry, getting a move. I actually missed if she did in fact get a move with a plant monster. That one is specifically going to be... JP is having a little bit of difficulty resizing his stream. At this point, he could probably just stretch it, maybe. I don't know if he can... No, he can't hear me right now, but... Yep, that's a box. It's not quite a letterbox. It's not quite sidebars, but that's a box. Looks like Nash is going to be finishing up at the Nagil Cup. Nagil is one of the drugs that you can use on a monster. It increases your monster's skill and defense at the time of the battle. So it's only for that 1 week. You give it drugs, and then it's just instant effect. Yeah, say no to drugs, kids. Unless it's in Monster Rancher, and then drugs can be very good. Yeah, Nash is definitely running away with this mustard arrow, this arrowhead Suezo, this already buttered crab alien looking thing. There we go. JP has a fairly good aspect ratio now to match his competitors. Well, having a look at the bingo board here, we do have a little... We do have a small lead in Lexi's favor. I'm not sure if she's going to go for row 4 and column 2. Nash kind of in the same... Looks like he's kind of in the same boat, but if he's going to the Nagil Cup already, it's more likely that he's going to go for 3 different drugs on one monster. Regardless, it seems like I would say that all of the racers here would benefit from Find Phoenix Feather on first expedition. Expeditions are, well, adventures. So, when you go on an adventure, you can find unique items, one of which is the Phoenix Feather, and you can get that on the very first adventure you go to. And, unsurprisingly, the Phoenix Feather helps you get a phoenix. You can raise a giant firebird in this game. It's pretty cool. Very strong monster. Don't know if we'll see one being raised in the race today, but we might see one being unlocked for sure. And we're just kind of going through the paces right now of raising your monsters, feeding it a new item every month, slowly building up its stats. Now you'll see sometimes the racers will rest their monsters. It is important to balance training and resting, because if your monster gets too stressed out from doing too many drills, or if they get too tired, it can actually affect their lifespan. And each monster comes with a specific lifespan length depending on their main breed and subbreed. And, well, unsurprisingly, the harsher you treat your monster, the less it's going to live. Or less it's going to live. The shorter life it will have. So, I don't think we're going to see a death. There are a couple of death-related goals in Monster Rancher 2 Bingo, but there aren't any on this card, it seems. Which is a little bit of a relief, because it is very heartbreaking, you know? You raise a monster for a few in-game years. You think you're doing really well with it. You just got into B rank or A rank. And then all of a sudden it's you get this very gut-wrenching scene where something your monster passes away. So you're right, Alan Zorian. They have completely different life cycles too. You may have noticed that some of the monsters have changed sizes. That may or may not have happened yet. I'm sorry, I haven't been paying too much attention to the size of the monsters. It does look like Lexi's monster has grown at least once. There are different life stages for your monster. There's childhood, adolescence, prime, elder, and then old age. And your monster gets different stat gains in different cycles of its life. So when it's a child, just a baby, really. It's not getting very good gains in anything. But then, as a teenager, they're starting to get better gains. And then in prime, it's getting incredible gains because, well, it's in the prime of its life. And then as it gets older, gets a little more worn out, it begins to have lower and lower stat gains when going to drills and errantries. Seems as though JP is filling his freezer with different monsters. The freezer is a wonderful mechanic in the game because, well, you get to store monsters away, cryogenically freeze them for later. So if you have a very strong monster that you don't want to continue raising on the ranch, continue taking hits to its lifespan, you just put it in the freezer. And then every calendar year when a tournament comes up, you can say, hey, I'm going to pull them out, going to go to this battle, and hey, going to win some more money. Because it is very important that you have a lot of extra cash in this game. If you end up running out, well, that's a game over. Yes, JP's got himself a very interesting looking monster there. A Mochi Dragon. Mochi is, we've seen a couple of Mochis already with people going to the market and getting them. Mochi's sort of the contestant for the mascot of the series. It's kind of a tie between Suezo and Mochi. Like, I feel like the game designers never really chose one and went with it. They kind of introduced Mochi and said, well, you know what, this is kind of cute. Maybe we should go with that. And Nash got himself a rare monster. Yeah, that's I believe that's Kasumi. It's a based on or maybe Mia. Oh my god. I don't know my fighting games, but it's based on a fighting game character, and it's a pixie. But a very interesting find at the shrine for Nash. It is Kasumi, okay. No, Mia is another fighting character based special pixie. Okay. JP resetting. Went to a tournament and then decided to back out and reset. I think because he didn't want to go to the E rank tournament. He might have wanted to go to the D rank tournament. At the end of the first month of every season, there is a... No? Okay. No, he's still going to E Cup. I'm not too sure what his plan is here. But yeah, there is a tournament at the end of the first month of every season where you can rank up. If you win that tournament, you move up a rank. You see that Lexi is also at a IMA official E Cup. And Nash is... While the others are battling, Nash is fighting a gigantic crab with a gigantic crab. Might be going for defeating 3 Mochi. That is on the board, yeah. Row 5, column 3. Defeat 3 different Mochis. Because he hasn't fought one yet, I don't believe. And there's only 3 Mochis in regular tournaments. That being Junimol, as seen here, in E rank. Sakura Art in D rank. And then Lamb Sweet in A rank. Well, he will need to be in A rank if he wants to unlock Durahan, although... Nash marking off finish 1 tech chain. So he managed to get Sting on his Arrowhead Suezo. Or actually, sorry, I thought he was going for multiple Stings. No, he went with Punch and then Long Punch. And that is a tech chain. If you use Punch, I believe, 25 or 30 times, then you're able to unlock Long Punch, which is one of the stronger moves in the game, really. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but it's a very quick animation. It doesn't cost a lot of guts, and, well, for the amount of guts that it has, it does a fair bit of damage. Do we have some donations to read for Bingothon?
Oh wow, that's a good timing. We were just about to jump in and ask if we have time for a few quick messages. But
Sure.
I guess we have, right? Yeah. Hey guys, I just want to remind all of you that we're raising money for Fred Hutch. So far, we raised a pretty amazing $221. Just $1, by the way, it would come to 222, which would look pretty good. But maybe just a little bit about Fred Hutch real quick. So did you guys know that Fred Hutch was named the coordinating center for the COVID Vaccine Prevention Network, or in short, the CoVPN, in July 2020? The CoVPN brings together the expertise and resources of 4 of the United States' most sophisticated clinical trial networks to conduct clinical trials for the COVID-19 vaccine. So I'm sure all of us are slowly but surely kind of annoyed by this stupid virus and would get rid of it. So help us help Fred Hutch, and so we can have a good 2021.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the ways that you can put that money to a good cause and to a good bid war is to vote for the upcoming goal, which is to hit $35 for Road Trip Adventure, reach the end of the game. We're currently at $0, so every dollar you can throw our way towards that goal would be very much appreciated.
Yeah, back to you.
All right. Yes, thank you everybody for donating so far, and be sure to donate to hit those incentive goals. Fred Hutch is an incredible organization. I was reading up a bit about what the cause is, how it started, and I even threw a couple of my own dollars towards the cause, and it's something that's really worth pitching into, you know? These long battles, these official cups, they are the longest tournaments to go to because, well, you'll face more of the opponents in that rank. So JP and Lexi going to be at these tournaments for just a little while longer. While the donations were being read, I did notice Nash got himself another pixie, this time a pixie plant from the shrine. Pixies are certainly interesting in this game. It's odd that there's just this lady that you take to the ranch and you send her to battles and she's a monster. I mean, it's based off of Succubus. It makes sense. Which is very strange when you have, say, an alien lobster looking thing. And you're like, oh wow, this is a monster. And then you go to the shrine and you get this pretty lady with jiggle physics. And they did not skip out on the jiggle physics in this game. You'll see a lot of monsters if they have a little belly pouch, if they have a little pudge, it jiggles. Jiggling, baby. The pioneers of jiggle physics. Tecmo. Looks like JP is wrapping up his tournament. Lexi looking to use Seed Gun a lot of times because Plants only has one tech chain. Probably going to go into Seed Gatling with that and try to mark off that finish one tech chain goal. JP, on the other hand, he does... Yes, I believe he does have an easy tech chain to finish off with a Gaboo. That being Chop into Rolling Chop. I could be mistaken, though, as Gaboo is not my... I don't raise a lot of Gaboos, so I'm not too familiar with their techs, their moves. No, Gaboo is JP's second child. One of his favorite childs. One of his favorite monsters to raise. Yeah, Macho, Mustard Arrow, our buttery lord and savior. We do have a Monster Rancher Discord where we've memed pretty much every monster at this point. And Mustard Arrow is the buttery lord and savior. Looks as though JP's Gaboo is grown once again. If he's not in prime now... Oh no, he's certainly in prime right now. He's going to be getting some very good stat gains from drills and whatnot. We also have our first birthday. As your monster grows older every year, Colt, the trainer assistant, likes to sing your monster happy birthday. And then feed it cake. So right now, all of our racers have 3 different goals marked off. I'm interested to see what 2 lines they're going for. It certainly seems as though Nash has already made progress in row 3. He did pick up Nagil. And now he's playing Mud Ball with his Arrowhead. Or rather, Snowball. That is one of the different game types that you can play. I think... Yeah, I think he was expecting Sumo here. So that's kind of why he's a little stunned. He's not moving around because, well, he didn't want this. But yeah, the Mud Ball and Snowball games, you strafe, you move, you aim down the sights, and you throw some balls at your monster. That came out a little wrong, but you get the idea. You try to beat your monster by hitting it more than it hits you. And it looks like Nash might be losing to his alien lobster. Or tying. Oh, this is close. At the last second, managed to get one more snowball in. Is the monster on the right just a doggo? Yeah, it's I think it's actually like a Muppet. There's 2 guys inside, and it's just a giant suit. Like, don't tell me that doesn't look like a Muppet. But yes, it is a big dog. He's not a barker, he's a boofer. And JP trying to run the clock here with a bunch of chops. His opponent did commit foolery, which made it a bit easier to hit him. Doofy Falcor. Yeah. Stubby Falcor. He's not so long. He's just a little short, stubby one. But yeah, there are quite a few different interesting monsters in this game. Ranging from, well, basically mud monsters like Gaboo to gel monsters like Capella. And everything in between. You know, everything in between mud and gel. You see there is a pure pixie on the left there, Millium. A fine example of, well, the succubus monster. Yeah, and cat doll monsters as well. Scary, intimidating looking monsters like Dragon, Joker. Joker sounds all fun and nice, unless you're thinking of the Batman Joker, but no, it's just a avatar of death in this game, so yeah, this game is inappropriate in many ways, but you know, the Americanized version or westernized version, or however you want to call it, the localization team did try their best. They weren't able to change up the sprite models for the pixies, but they did remove some, what do you call, alcohol references. There is a monster in this game that loves to drink sake and smoke from a pipe, and the localization team said, whoa, hold on. This is a kid's game. We can't have drinking and smoking. But well-endowed ladies in essentially bikinis with jiggle physics. Oh yeah, sure, why not? It was an interesting set of priorities for the localization team. But yeah, in the Japanese version, Monster Farm 2, there's Kato, the old cat monster that you can actually see. It does have a pipe in its sprite. And a lot of its moves revolve around drinking and smoking. So yeah, no, I mean that is pretty fair. If they left the pipe in, then there'd be a lot more kids smoking out of pipes in the 90s. Perhaps. Who knows how video games affect young minds, right? So Lexichu, rather, winning a couple of matches so far in this tournament, has one left there. Oh, and Nash's monster deciding to take off. It is run away. If your monster is very tired and you don't let it rest, if it gets to a certain point of fatigue, it just runs away. And then for a few weeks, all that you can do is just kind of sit around the ranch and wait for it to return. And it does return. It always does. That is a nice thing, you know? You never have to go back to town and get a new one. You just wait patiently until it gets hungry and comes back. But that's kind of how running away works, right? You get mad at your parents and you decide to go to a friend's house or wherever. But then you get hungry and then you return because only mom can make food, right? Seems as though Nash is going to be checking the shrine again. Putting his lobster alien in the freezer. Going to market, actually. What is he going to pick up from the market that he doesn't already have? Oh, a Sueza. Yeah, all of our ranchers are now in the spring season of the first, well, I suppose second year. Oh. JP marking off lose a week of life with a banana. That is a interesting item in the game, magic bananas. What they do is they make your monster... they can give a week of lifespan to your monster, or take away a week of life. Oh, and JP has filled his freezer with different monsters. Look at that. A fun spectrum of different colors, as there's all different types of monsters in Nash's freezer. Well, a little unfortunate that his arrowhead doesn't do sumo. You would think that a giant lobster that, you know, really focuses on defense would like to try to push you around a little bit in sumo. No, it seems he likes to throw mud balls, so... you know, different strokes, I guess. Yeah, JP resetting, going to the I'm official D rank. Yes, he's certainly trying to go for defeat 3 different Mochis. He did reset to try to fight Junimol, the Mochi Tiger, in the E rank. And now he's resetting to try to get different opponents. Most of the battles throughout the year have the same monsters every time you go to it. Except for the official ranks. There's certain monsters that always show up to the exact same one, but you usually get a wide variety of different monsters, so... and you see Sleep Bomb again. However, this time he's a little bit smaller than he was. It's an interesting thing about the AI in this game is sometimes their sizes change as if their current life stage is different almost every time you go. So it does look a little silly that Sleep Bomb is smaller than he once was. Lexichu not having a problem with Millium. Millium doesn't have a lot of life and doesn't have incredibly strong moves. That Ray can be a little devastating sometimes, but Lexi able to knock out Millium. JP, on the other hand, not able to knock out Sleep Bomb, does have a lot of life. And life is, life we found is pretty useful in this game. The more of it you have, the harder it is to KO you. As opposed to having high defense, sometimes it seems like defense doesn't really factor in that much. There are a couple of opponents who have really high defense and low life, and they certainly seem a lot easier to KO than opponents with high life and low defense. Nash is falling behind Oakley Man right now. And with only 15 seconds on the clock, he's going to have to do some damage here. He might just start spamming his long punch move there. He is very fond of that. It does do a decent amount of damage for how much the guts cost is. Oh. Not able to KO Oakley Man. Left him at 1 HP, but that's okay. Still managed to get the win. Ooh, JP's monster getting flattened. Not once, but twice. You do see that there are hit percentages when you're selecting a move. Some moves, very easy to hit your opponent. Others, not so much. And to be hit by 20-some% moves in a row, it's fairly unlucky. But then, that's how chance works, right? You're not gonna hit every 99% attack. Otherwise, it would be 100%. Well, all of our racers are in battles right now. There are quite a few battle-oriented goals on the card here, so it's not too surprising that they're going to one after the other. Of course, all of them are at the official ranks, so they each have 5 opponents. And then once you get up into C rank, then there's 7 opponents, and the tournaments there take even longer, so we'll see if anybody does go to a C or higher rank official cup. The battles are certainly some of the longest factors in a bingo race. There's not a lot of quick battles, so it would certainly be a detriment to go to battles with a lot more opponents. Yeah, the life stage difference can be seen on Lexi's screen right now. Thank you, Alan Zorian. Palmer probably in its prime stage right now. Scales, on the other hand, Lexi's monster, still in adolescence. I don't think that's a baby or child size, but it is pretty small. Yeah, Lexi getting withered by Palmer. Hey, Jack. Hope your day is going all right. You know, we're only an hour into this race, and it's kind of tough to say if any one person's in the lead. I mean, yeah, Nash does have more goals marked off, but really he and Lexi are about the same distance away from a double right now, and JP, I think JP is going for some difficult goals. Oh, and he ended up losing to Sakura Art, which he does want that defeat 3 Mochi's goal, we've determined. Spending money to watch this right now? Oh, Jack. Sorry to hear. Imagine a cup full of golems and you only have 1 pixie. I think I've seen that video somewhere. Haha. Just keep going and kill her later. Yeah, there are other opportunities to fight Sakura Art. And now he has to go through the IMA official cup again, so he's making some interesting decisions right now, deciding to throw away that that victory Because he did beat every other monster at the tournament. Okay, well, Sakura Art is an opponent again, and not the last one this time, so good for JP. And back to battles once again for him. Our other racers, on the other hand. Interesting. Lexi deciding to go to the Crab's Claw Cup. This is a C rank tournament. It is considered more difficult, considerably more difficult than the other tournaments that she's been to already. We'll see how she decides to go up against these opponents here. Nicole is a Mew. It is a cat doll monster. If Mochi surrenders before the match, does it count as a defeat? Well, yeah. So, Nash looks like he's kind of deciding what tournaments to go to next. Yeah, he is going to be going to this Spring Carnival. It is an elimination tournament, so unlike... Okay, he's proven me wrong. All right. Thank you, Nash. I appreciate that. Opting to not go to the tournament instead. And is he going to go to the C rank Elimination Cup? Yes, he is. Okay. So now I get to explain the difference between a round robin and elimination. And it's as simple as that. In one, you fight all of the monsters. In the other, well, you just try not to get eliminated. And you actually end up fighting less monsters as a result, so... Okay, interesting. He decided to reset there. Looks like he didn't want to go to that tournament after all. Well. Alright then. I'm not sure if he was looking for a specific opponent, or... maybe he had a bit of a brain fart, maybe? Lexi right now going up against Waranmo. One of the more difficult opponents in the C rank, just because of how much life it has. It is very difficult to KO. And it does have a considerable amount of strength. That it can absolutely decimate your monster if you're not careful. Well. Lexi, though, managing to make Waranmo eat his bananas instead of trying to attack. There are a number of recovery moves in this game where if you use it, you recover HP. And Waranmo has one of those moves, Tasty Banana. They're often pretty expensive. They often have very low hit rates. And by hit rates, well, I guess it's more of a success rate. For some reason, if your monster or your opponent is very fast, it makes it more difficult for you to recover. I'm not sure the logic behind that, but that's how it works in Monster Rancher. JP with the Sakura Art rematch now. Hopefully he's able to land a hit and stay ahead. Sakura Art doesn't have too many hard-hitting moves. That roll attack can be pretty damaging if it does crit, but we'll see if he can pull another victory here. we are coming up to the 1 hour mark of the race. If we have any more donations, we can have them read.
You kind of read our mind again. So,
Well, half hour is a pretty good mark for that, isn't it?
sure it is, yeah. So we just want to remind people watching that we do have some prizes to win. So, for example, 1 second. If you donate a minimum of $10, you can win a lovely Bingothon mug, which is with the Winter 2020 branding. And we all want a mug, so why not put some money towards a good cause for doing coronavirus research and also get a lovely mug? One of the bigger prizes is the Higher Rule Warriors Age of Calamity that you can win if you donate a minimum of $20. So please get your donations in. It's going to a wonderful cause and you can win some absolutely fabulous prizes. And you can also put it towards your money towards a bid war or a goal. I think Zonoris has something to read about that.
Yeah, so after this run, we will have an interview with Fred Hutch. And after that interview, the next game will be a Road Trip Adventure. And for Road Trip Adventure, we have a little donation incentive here for a total of $35. K-Flighter will use speedrunning tricks to reach the final cutscene of the game and initiate the final race after the bingo is complete. So, in most bingos, normally, depending on the game, you don't necessarily finish the game. But in this very case, if we meet these $35, we will actually also get to see the end of the game after hopefully a fantastic bingo. So get your donations in, guys, with only a minimum of $1, which, by the way, would still make up for this lovely looking $222 raised so far. So yeah, get them donations in, and back to some Monster Hunter here.
Yeah, let's reach those goals, shall we? It's all for a good cause, going towards Fred Hutch. It is a wonderful cause. If you haven't, be sure to look into it. Cancer research, and also doing a lot of COVID-19 research right now as well. Great organization. So I didn't mention this. Donations were being read as JP reset again. Not quite able to KO Sakura Art.
Okay, hello there.
Oh, hi, Jack. How
Hi,
wonderful to have you here.
Thank you. I couldn't join in playing the game, so I decided to come and help you out with some commentary.
Hi, thank you. I was supposed to have another commentator with me, but it appears she wasn't able to make it. So thanks for
Such a
stepping in.
shame. Oh, that's no problem. I would have been here an hour ago, but like I said, I didn't have any internet until then. Until just now.
Mm-hmm. So are you you at the library or the transit station?
No, I'm tethering via mobile.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, yeah, so you were originally going to be a racer, but the situation changed, and we do have these three still going, which, to be fair, you did win in all of our practice runs, so it is nice to give them a chance to taste victory here.
JPFC going for the Torble errantry to try and unlock a move, possibly?
Yeah, he has used Chop a lot of times, so it could be Rolling Chop he's going for. I'm not too familiar with the Gaboo moveset. If you know a bit more about it, maybe you might have some more insight.
I think you know as much as I do, because Gaboos have such a wide and varied moveset.
Yeah.
They're one of those, because not all monsters are made equally in this game by any means, and Gaboos have an overabundance of moves, which is that can be a double-edged sword sometimes, especially if we do our tournaments. The if people get too many moves, then it's often a bad thing because they aren't able to. The AI will cycle through them too fast and not use the ones you want when you want them to.
Yeah,
Generally not a problem when you're controlling it though.
right. Because, well, you can always just select the best moves anytime. But for an example, JP's monster, Baby Boy, he's on Errantry right now, and this is an AI versus AI match. He doesn't have any say in what his monster is doing right now.
Yeah, and notice also he's fighting a Mochi, and that's on the card, I believe. Fight 3 different Mochis.
Yeah,
Kill
it's
4
interesting
Mochis.
that he didn't really luck out in beating Sakura Arts at all. But now he has another chance with one of these Errantry monsters.
Yeah, 3 different Mochis is not a hard goal in all things being considered, because there are 3 different Mochis available in vanilla tournaments. You'll have Junimol in rank E and Sakura Fart in rank D, and Lamb Sweet in rank A. But if JP could grab one of the Mochis early, that could put him ahead if he was going for that column. But he doesn't look like he is.
Well, I hate to disagree, but he did reset a couple of times going for the
Of
I'm
course,
official E
yeah.
just to get a win against Junimol, which he did. And then he reset a couple of times trying to fight Sakura Arts, and he didn't manage to get that.
I see 800 intelligence and 800 speed on the same line. That's not something I would go for at all. But yeah, the
No.
column one, columns is a good. Col 3, pretty good one, because 3 rank F tournaments isn't that hard if you've got a strong enough monster. 3 different drugs, pretty easy to do.
Mm-hmm.
Just need to find some drugs. This game not only gives you drugs, but encourages use of them.
Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, there's not some sort of back alley in town where you can find drugs. No, you have to win them legitimately in tournaments.
They give them away in tournaments. Yeah, it's like, hey, thanks for entertaining a crowd. Here's some drugs, guys.
Yeah, your monster proved to be the strongest. Now here's some performance-enhancing drugs to make it stronger.
Yeah, there is no regulation in this game at all, because you can have like a maxed out 999 in all stats monster just wail on some baby monsters. It's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
There is no such thing as regulation in this world.
Well, JP did manage to win against that wild Mochi, so now all he has to do is beat Sakura Art, the easier of the two between what's left in the regular tournaments. And there he goes. He's got defeat 3 different Mochis. Now, what he decides to pair that with is anyone's guess. If he is going for column 3, it's not incredibly difficult. He does have a pretty full freezer as is. He did already lose a week of life with a banana, but he hasn't won any drugs yet.
Lexi adding another tournament to the tournament win, because one of the goals is win 8 tournaments, of course.
Mm-hmm.
She may be going to the IMA Fimba match, because that's a pretty quick tournament to win. Because you only actually have to do 1 match. It's a tournament win where you only have to fight once. The drawback of the IMA Fimba match, though, is that you're relying on your AI to help you win as well. And that's not always a good thing, because it's supposedly 50-50 when AI fights AI, but it's not always it's not always as kind of straightforward as that.
Yeah, and to kind of further explain that, at the IMA official or at the IMA Fimba meets, it's all of the it's
a 5v5.
Yeah, it's 5v5 with IMA monsters versus another region, a completely different organization of monster fighting, Fimba. And yeah, it's 5v5
in the first game. If you played the first game in Monster Rancher, that the Fimba was where your main character resides, I believe.
Yep.
So Nash, it looks like he's going for that row 4 and row 3 as his double for now. But beating your monster in sumo, now that is a very interesting goal.
Yeah, I've mentioned that before. It's just there's no clear indication of how to win at sumo. There's a little icon with a button that kind of tells you that, oh, maybe you should mash the button, but it doesn't really seem to do anything. It's a really strange game.
Yeah,
In a
it's the
already
worst
strange
rock,
game.
paper, scissors. It's the worst rock, paper, scissors you'll ever see in any game ever.
And actually, he did already play with his arrowhead, but arrowheads like to play mudball and snowball. They don't play sumo,
Yeah.
which
If we
I
could
don't
go
think
light
Nash knew
and
because he
defense
did
to
agree to go
200,
play with it.
and then just work on skill, get skill to like 2.
Yeah.
So
Because there's three different games you can play with the monsters, and it depends on their main breed of what they want to play. Generally,
Yeah,
the more scrappy physical monsters will go for sparring, whereas the intelligence types tend to go for sumo more.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third game is mud ball or snowball, depending on the season. You just throw mud balls at your monster and they throw them back.
Yeah,
Pretty fun.
Nash did just barely beat his arrowhead at mudball. It was close, but at the last second he managed to get snowball. It was one last snowball that he managed to land.
Nice.
Not that it makes any difference. You can beat your monster or lose to it. It's still going to have the same effect on your monster regardless.
Yeah, currently on screen, the only monster that can actually do sumo is JP's bad boy, the Gaboo.
Mm-hmm. Bad boy.
Baby boy. I didn't read it right. It's on a tiny screen for me.
That's fair. No, he's a very good boy. Something I didn't mention earlier is the nature of monsters. Some are more good-natured or bad-natured, and that really determines whether your monster will cheat in drills or not. I'd say that's like the biggest determining factor of what nature does. But there is also
Lexi there, angry at not getting wins losses mirrored. It seems.
There is also a little bit of a delay on that echo. That was interesting.
Yeah, I was trying to pull up the chat on my phone too, and then there we go. Okay,
but yeah,
so
I'm not sure what you mean though. Lexi did mark off wins losses mirrored on the grid already.
oh, did she? Okay, I completely missed that. That's my bad.
Well, to be fair, that was one of the first goals that she marked off. She got it very early on.
That was before I saw them. Oh, of course, Lexi is yellow and JP is green.
Yep. And
the currently the only streamer who has the color on screen is Nash.
Yeah, Nash was gonna go with orange, but because there's already yellow that was selected,
it doesn't contrast very well.
Yeah, he opted to go for a more visible color.
Oh, Peverus beating Lexi's plant there. Very unfortunate. And Gunburn one-shotting Nash's monster too. Ouch. Everything's going wrong today. Next thing we need is Milliam to KO Baby Boy. And we got a trifecta.
You say that, but I don't think it's going to happen.
No, not with patting. Milliam's pat is probably one of the worst attacks in the game.
You know what? The second worst move in the game is kick.
Yeah,
the other move in that one slot.
Yeah, I don't know what the game designers were thinking when they came up with Pixie, because it's an intelligence-based monster. All the best attacks are intelligence. She's got a 5 growth in intelligence. So let's give her 2 basic power attacks to start with.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and you know what? Oh yeah, go ahead.
I was just saying, and cripple every Pixie for life.
I was gonna say, every other slot 1 move. Let's make those power based as well. Because why not?
Because when you get moves in this game, generally you can cover up power moves with intelligence moves, but nope, not with Pixie. They have no intelligence moves in slot 1.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to get a ruling on something quickly, Engine.
Yep.
What is the say on if you win the I'm a Thimba, but the rest of the team loses? Does that count as a win or a loss?
That counts
That's
as a loss.
Okay, thank you.
It's the X day of the meet.
Piantissimo. Yeah, we had some interesting names and interesting monsters so far from these names. I'm sorry you weren't here to see them, but Nash managed to get himself a rare pixie.
Oh, very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Was it the Mia or a poison or
Kasumi?
Ah, Kasumi.
Mm-hmm.
Neat. You in the vanilla game, guys, you can get Kasumi by sticking in Dead or Alive, because I'm sure you've told people how to generate monsters in this game, like legitimately.
Yep, just grab any CD around your house, whether that's other PlayStation games, music discs, computer discs.
Yep. If you stuck in Dead or Alive, you got a Kasumi. So, the Gunburn this time dying to A, good old A, the most classic name of all monsters ever.
Yeah, that is the rancher's monster's choice of name. It's the first letter that is selected, and it's just quick to tap, 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 done. It's named A. We'll see if Lexi gets some good luck here at the I'm a Thimba meet. Also, I didn't mention, JP did manage to beat Sakura Art, marking off defeat 3 different Mochis.
Yeah, I just saw that myself. So he just needs to get some drugs and win 3 F-rank tournaments. Now the F-rank tournaments are interesting because there are several in the game themselves. The easiest one probably being the Freshman's. It's called the Freshman's Cup, right?
Correct.
Or yes, the Freshman's Cup. But you can only go to it if your monster is less than 6 months old, and it's on a certain day of the year. It's like the 2nd of June or the 2nd of July or whatever. So you need to both have a monster under that age and good enough to beat D-rank monsters, which isn't too hard. But it means lining up the monsters with that date. The other options, of course, is the Heal and the Heroes Cup. They're on the same week, but that just depends on the nature of your monster is. So if you've got a good-natured monster, it will go to the Heals Cup, and if you've got a good-natured monster, it will go to the Heroes Cup, and if you've got a bad-natured monster, it will go to the Heals Cup. They are very strong monsters, though. They tend to be around B to A rank. So not super easy to beat right off the bat. In fact, probably impossible to beat right off the bat unless you had unless you could somehow get yourself like a couple of Suki Suezos.
And maybe the luck of the gods as well.
Yeah.
But sorry. Continue.
If I was just saying, if you've got a monster that you're raising to be strong, then it's probably not going to be too difficult. But there is only one of those a year. The other option, of course, being the free for all New Year's Cup, which has A to S rank or B to S rank monsters in it, and that one is infamous. Unfortunately, we didn't get any goals involving Kitty, but there's a pixie in the A rank in that New Year's Cup called Kitty, which is basically used by every rancher ever to kill a monster off, because she's an A rank monster who in fact we just saw Kitty on Lexi's screen. In the Anime Fimba Cup. But yeah, she's an A-rank monster who is infamous for killing new players and useful for killing monsters for various reasons.
Yeah, if you're a new player to the game, you might see that tournament and think, okay, well, this might be okay. That's a lot of prize money. I could really use the money right now. And you send your baby monster to it, and here's this ultra-powerful pixie that just roasts your monster.
Yeah, she will frame one flame you with one of Pixie's best moves.
And your monster can straight up die too. So that's it doesn't just get injured sometimes. It could just straight up pass away.
Have you explained a death in the game?
A little bit, yes, but I did want to mention there is one other free-for-all tournament that you would likely never see in a bingo race because it requires a 6-year-old monster, and that's the Elders Cup, where you can win a silver peach, which I guess ironically extends your monster's lifespan a little bit. So, and I did also want to mention that JP did go to the Freshman's Cup and he did manage to win it. So. He does have that one marked off, or one F-rank tournament won.
That's pretty good.
Interesting that he's going for Crab's Claws, though. He's just going to that tournament now.
Well, Call 4 isn't that difficult. You just need, if you get the 602 different stats, the rest are pretty arbitrary. Bad to good nature is not hard to do. 2 Crab's Claws, of course, you just have to beat the Crab's Cup twice. Geo Statue and Papas may be annoying, but only if you've got low life. If you haven't got the life to reach the Geo Statue, then you might be screwed, but...
And power is definitely helpful with that as well, because on adventures, there's 3 stats that really come into effect. Intelligence, when searching for items, makes it more likely that your monster will find good items. Life, which is sort of the energy. Higher life means that you can stay out on adventure longer, you can run around more, and power is used to, well, get rid of obstacles that might show up in your way. And if you have very low power, you can still get rid of those obstacles, but it might take a little while. So, Baby Boy, probably an okay monster to send, might need a little bit more life. In fact, I think 280 is the minimum you need to go to that specific adventure. But
no, you can get there with 210. You just won't be able to get back. So thankfully, if you do go on adventures in this game, even if you don't manage to get back to base, you ran out of energy before you get back to base, you still get to keep all your items. But the goal, of course, is just to search the Jill statue, not to grab anything there.
Yeah, it doesn't say anything about success, just search. So,
yep. Lexi looks like she may be going on an adventure pretty soon as well. If not now, maybe next year. Yes, of course, it's October, so it may be next year.
Well, yeah, it's interesting that she's falling behind in the goal count right now, but I don't think she's behind in the double bingo race.
Don't let lack of goals confuse people into thinking that someone might be behind. When we were doing our practice matches, I didn't have a single goal for an hour and a half in the first match, and then it was like bam, 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 because they just lined up. Because I designed my I designed it. I routed it to line up all at once, and then suddenly I won. So Lexi might be going for a strat like that.
We do see sort of a trend with these racers and all the races that we've done as practice. JP seems to go with a bit of a shotgun effect here. He's getting a lot of different goals all over the board, and I think he kind of tries to build off of that. Like he might go for row 2 because he does already have a freezer with a bunch of different monsters in it. In fact, I might dare say that he's going for row 2 and column 3, but it's tough to say.
Whereas, row 2 looks like a pretty easy one to do as well. I think I'd probably go for something like row 2 and then something else. Because unlock 15 monster cards, that lines up really well with fill freezer with different monsters. Like those two synergize quite well because you're going to need at least 10 monsters to fill your freezer with anyway.
And I didn't mention yet, but monster cards, every time you get a new monster, you get a card associated with that monster, and you can take a look at them in the menus, and it kind of gives a little brief description of what the monster is like. It's not entirely accurate sometimes.
Terribly translated. Have you spoken about the translation in this game?
No, we haven't had a really good opportunity to see a really bad translation, but yes, the localization team Tried.
It's probably just one underpaid intern.
Oh, JP resetting because he didn't win the drug tournament that he went to. At least I believe it was a drug tournament, so I could be mistaken. There's
he was
quite a few different
fighting,
battles going on here.
Breknan.
The Crab's Claw Cup, correct. That's the one he was going to. Well, it's interesting that he didn't go to the Nigil Cup instead, because that's a goal that lines up better for a line here. But
JP buying some powders. Powders are very useful, especially in the speedrun, because they make your monster skinny. And one of the hidden stats in this game is form, so skinny and fat. And if your monster's skinny, it means they get a bonus to their speed, which means they can dodge moves better. And if the monster's fat, it means they get a bonus to the defense, and they will tank damage better. But they work opposite each other. So if you're skinny, you lose defense, and if you're fat, you lose speed. So yeah, giving him a powder, giving Baby Boy a powder before tournament to get an extra boost of speed is not a bad idea. As I said, it's used in the speedrun. I currently am the world record holder for the Monster Rancher 2 speedrun. Shout out to
humble
me.
brag. Yep.
I thought I might as well mention it because someone would at some point. And one of the strategies in that literally involves giving your monster powder before pretty much every tournament, because you don't get any defense, you don't get any life, you don't get anything apart from intelligence and speed. So you can dodge as many attacks as possible and one-shot as many monsters as possible.
So he did use a powder on his Baby Boy, but
yep,
he did also end up going to the Nigil Cup anyways for the drugs instead of the Crab Claw. So I don't know if it was necessary, but I mean, it could help in the long run as well.
Nash getting a Suezo out from his freezer. Could he be going for a good to bad nature? Because this Suezo is a baby, and Suezos are bad natured by design.
Yeah, that bad to good nature is an interesting goal for sure. But why would he go for this
apple
now?
Cakes. The apple cakes aren't that useful. Okay, tell us.
Okay, hear me out. He wants to get Beat Your Monster in Sumo. So he's spoiling his monster right away to make it that it wants to ask for things before you send it to a drill. And one of the things it could ask for is play. Now, hopefully he gets this. He has had awful luck in the past getting these chance-based goals, so hopefully his luck turns around for him here.
One of the things about Monster Rancher is when you generate a monster, they'll have like a randomly generated list of likes and dislikes. And we've recently discovered, of course, this game's 20 years old, and we're still discovering new things about it, that sometimes some monsters just don't ask for things ever. Like their like generated list does not include asking for items, or in that case, asking for play. So sometimes you'll get a monster that, say for a Mochi, for example, infamous for giving really annoying items that are just vendor trash, and you just sell them for 10G each because they just take up inventory space. Sometimes you can generate a Mochi that won't give any items at all. And if we had a goal that was based on getting items from your monster, if you manage to generate a monster that doesn't give you anything, it's kind of bad. So let's hope that this Suezo actually asks for items, or asks to play at some point.
Now, another thing he could be doing as well, I don't think he's going to go for it, but win 3 F-rank tournaments. This is a pretty young monster, and he would just barely be able to go to the Freshman's Cup.
If that were true, he's doing power. He's doing power drills. If that were true, I would not be wasting my money. Oh no, he's going to study now, so maybe he just clicked domino by mistake. I would still be meditating myself to get the extra boost in intelligence. Suezo is a very good monster. It's one of my favorite monsters, and one of its basic techs, Spit, is probably one of the best basic techs in the entire game.
Absolutely.
But it's intelligence based, so generally you just spit everything to death. It's going to the market now. Okay, no, I think waifu percent was that was a mistake.
I know what he's doing right now. It's the second week of March, so he's grabbing his his main monster here, and he's going to the Tron Cup and more drugs.
That makes sense.
Oh, we are at the hour and a half point here in the race. If the hosts have any more donations that they'd like to read, we've been reading them every half hour or so here. But yeah, if we don't have any donations, well, please do donate. It is to a wonderful cause. Our host can explain a bit more about that.
Sure. Right on time here again, as always. Very reliable commentator here. That's very nice.
You're welcome.
Yeah, as you said, we currently don't have any donations, but there's some other few things we'd like to mention. First of all, if you are enjoying the content you're seeing here, consider following our main channel, twitch.tv/bingothon, where we stream some other content. For example, recently we streamed the Super Mario Sunshine Bingo League, which the grand final will be in this marathon a bit further down the line. So if you are part of any bingo community that wants to create some kind of league or tournament or anything along the line, feel free to message any of our main organizers and we might be able to make something happen. And also keep updated on our stuff. If you can follow us on Twitter at Bingothon. And throughout this marathon, whenever there's like a cool highlight during a run or during an intermission, we'll try to keep you up to date with some good content.
Sure. And also just a very quick reminder that we do have a run of Road Trip Adventure coming up. And in order to reach the end of the game, that is actually a goal that we have to hit with donations. And we've got $35 left to go. So in donating, you're putting money towards a very good cause, which is Fred Hutch, but you're also putting money towards meeting that incentive if you so wish. So please donate anything that you can.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Charlie.
Yeah, I
noticed. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say.
Please.
I was just gonna say that JP is he wasting his time right now by fighting Bustler? Because
possibly.
The only because he got a tech from the Errand Tree. Now it seems like he's wasting his time fighting Bustler because the only price for beating Bustler is 1,000 G, but it costs 2,000 G to go on the adventure in the first place. So you're only getting 1,000 back. And
yeah, it's not a huge profit, but maybe he's just trying to mitigate his losses a little bit with that.
He's got spinning.
Well, it doesn't matter now.
I got KO'd by Bustler. Oh no! How embarrassing! Oh,
so, well, that didn't turn out exactly the way he'd hoped, but I did want to mention, Sonorous did mention that if you have a bingo game that you'd like to maybe do a sort of tournament or league with, I was thinking of doing a Monster Rancher 2 bingo league, but I don't know. It's tough to get a bunch of racers to commit to like 2.5 hour bingo races.
No, we like to do these like in the community, like every couple of weeks. But of course, with my situation right now, I can't commit to anything like that. And Nash has his own thing with his own battle league, and
oh yeah,
JP is also is not in the best situation right now either. So
yeah,
maybe in the future we can start organizing something more dedicated. But for now, it's a bit of a bad time.
Mm-hmm.
In these
Absolutely.
uncertain times.
Well, on that note, the Fred Hutch is actually doing some COVID-19 research right now. So those donation dollars do go towards fighting off this virus.
Making the times less uncertain.
Yes. Certainly less uncertain than the game of Monster Rancher 2 and those damn hit percentages.
Don't even talk to me. I will. Like, fun side fact: you guys saw Milliam earlier. One of the easiest monsters in the game with 66 health. During my world record run, I managed to not hit Milliam once, except in the last like frame of battle. And I almost lost against Milliam because I could not hit her.
Yep.
And
Those,
that was each battle is 60 seconds, and that's 60 seconds lost in the current world record run. So that just goes to show how bad the RNG can be sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of, I don't know if you noticed, but Lexi against War Anmo, he managed to land a 25% tasty banana and recovered.
I might be a little bit behind on that.
Oh, okay. Well, spoiler
Lexi's
alert.
stream keeps freezing for me. Oh yeah, the 20. I saw it. Tasty banana, infamously one of the worst techs in the entire game. It has minus 25 on its hit rating. So basically, what that means is if you have equal skill to your opponent's speed, your hit rating is just like a straight minus or plus %. Like in the speedrun, we use a Kato, which has an attack called Twister Claw, which has plus 25 to hit. So it means we don't have to get that much speed. It's 25% more likely to hit against a monster with equal speed. Tasty Banana has the minus 25% accuracy, and it doesn't even heal that much.
Mm-hmm. Although when you're facing War Ammo, it does come in handy to just stay in that one slot where he only has Tasty Banana.
Because it's like a 10% chance.
The interesting thing about AI battles is that monsters only use moves when they have at least 45 guts, unless if it's a recovery move. So you can get War Ammo to spend its guts early if you're in that slot 4 and it's got a little bit of... if it's behind in health, it'll eat a banana and try to recover.
Yeah, these games were recently ported to Switch and mobile, but in Japan only. And they updated how the battles worked, where the monsters don't need to have 45 guts. So it certainly changed some of the meta, because it meant like a monster like Hopper, which relies on really cheap, really weak attacks. And JP, hi mom and dad.
I think I wonder if he's just really confident right now because he's got 6-7 goals marked off.
They don't line up very well though.
Yeah, it's interesting. He's 2 goals away from column 3, which he's put some effort towards already by getting a couple of different drugs and winning that one F-rank tournament, the Freshman's Cup. Now, after that, it's kind of a toss-up what he should do. Maybe row 3 if he's going for column 3 for sure. It's anybody's guess, really.
Yeah, for some reason Lexi's stream keeps freezing for me, so it's a bit annoying.
Are you watching her stream on her channel, or?
I'm watching on multi-stream.
Oh, okay. Because yeah, there is the Speedruns Live or Speedruns Live. Did I say Speeds Run Live? Whatever this channel is.
Speedruns Live, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That is, it has all of them all together and with the bingo card as well. So that's how I've been tuning in and checking this out.
So
this is a really
Nash
nice layout, Kev. I love it.
Nash is getting that good old Suizo out again. Got the Cassitan, got the Nagil. I think he's almost given the drugs to all three monsters. 3 drugs to 1 monster. I think he's just given them all to this Suezo to tank its lifespan. Because once you, I'm sure you mentioned this earlier, but yeah, if you can make your monsters grow up faster, it means you get better stat gains faster, and you can get them into their prime stage where they have their best stat gains. That's basically the speedrun strat too. Is stress the monster out so it has like 3 weeks as a baby and then 3 weeks as an adolescent, and then you're in prime, and then you stop stressing, and then you train.
Yeah, I did mention the different life types, but I didn't mention that the strat is, yes, treat your monster like crap, and then make it so it grows up quicker and gets better stat gains.
And yeah, because life type matters a lot, especially because a monster like the baby boy JP's monster right now is very good because it's got a sub tiger, and the sub tiger means it's what we call precocious. So it has very short baby stages, very short adolescent, very short prime, but then it has a long time in old age. That's very useful for getting into prime quickly and then training as much as you can there. And then it's not going to die soon after it exits prime. Whereas a monster like Scales on Lexi's stream has a different type, and it's got more balanced life stages. So once that one's out of prime, it will be harder. It won't have as much time to live as say Baby Boy.
I did want to mention Nash went to a battle and just immediately dropped out. He's not going for wins losses mirrored on grid because that was an elimination tournament. Instead, I think he was hoping that his Suezo would ask him for play after going to battle.
And
also, is that
he
like
may have?
Is it just me, or does his Suezo seem really pudgy?
Yeah, he's been feeding it apple cakes, and apple cakes do make the monsters fat. Fat Suezos always look silly.
Yeah, it is interesting that the model does change on some monsters depending on their form, but it looks like it's just like a Jay Leno Suezo or something. His jaw is so huge.
Fat Suezos always look hilarious to me. But the skinny Suezos as well, they got like a stick for their tail. It's so tiny.
Yeah, but the monster that always freaks me out the most with its form is worms, because they go very extreme with their sizes.
Oh, I like tigers as well. Tigers are so silly when they get fat. They look like chunky dogs, like really chunky.
May as well be a Baku at that point, huh?
Yeah. I think Nash may have rolled a bad Suezo that doesn't ask for stuff, which is quite unfortunate because he's wasted loads of money on those apple cakes, because apple cakes are not cheap. They're a very niche item. They're one of the few items that actually give any sort of loyalty. Loyalty is you can see it at the bottom of the screen, and it's one of the hidden mechanics where you need to balance spoil and fear. So you need to make the monsters fear you and love you at the same time. And apple cakes are one of the few items that actually give loyalty by giving spoil, but they only give spoil. They don't give any fear.
So that's why Nash's monster is doting right now. So he did get his Suezo. Yeah, he did get his Suezo to want to play with him. Now comes the hard part of beating the Suezo.
Sumo.
Yeah. Oh, and his game froze.
Oh dear. Oh no, he might be messing with the emulator and trying to get it to work.
Yeah, so okay, I mentioned this before. Sumo, it tries to explain how to play the game for you, and it does have some nice indicators like mash the button, but it doesn't seem to do anything.
Yes, sometimes it'll be like, your monster's using rock, so you have to use paper, and then you mash the paper button and you still lose. There has been many a long debate on the Monster Hunter Discord on how Sumo is supposed to work and why it doesn't. And even Lexi has gone to the original Monster Farm 2 and translated the original Japanese, and she's like, nope, this cannot be worked out.
And even further to that,
incomprehensible.
there is a Japanese wiki for this game. Very good source of information, although it is all in Japanese. We often use Google Translate to get some hilariously bad translated words. But even on that wiki, with the Google Translate, it says, we do not know how to play this game. There's just nobody knows how to do sumo well, it seems. So
we need
it's
to
always
find
a
the
gambit.
original programmers. We need to find the original programmers and sit them down. Why did you do this? Why?
Nash did get another chance to play here, so we'll see if we'll see if he gets it around this time. Now, last time I played sumo, I accidentally won because I was using the turbo button and I was just holding X, which X isn't an option. I don't know why, but X somehow made it so I won.
I find the best strategy for sumo, and it doesn't always work, is to just mash the wrong button, or trying to mash like two of them at the same time, like alternate. Sometimes that works, but again, it's an insanely dumb game, and you're supposed to change the rock paper scissors at some point between the attacks, and it looks like Nash might be getting it now.
Yeah, hopefully he continues to either knock out his Suezo or run out the time while he's ahead.
Once you get the right button and you can mash and mash and mash, you tend to just stick with it. It tends to work. But sometimes the monster can also switch.
Also, while Nash is doing sumo, Lexi did mark off win 8 tournaments. Congrats on that.
Nice. And she got another drug.
Victory.
She got some lyrics. Oh, that
Nash
was close. See, the monster switched, and then there was no way to stop it going back to the center.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, Nash has won sumo. Congratulations.
One of the hardest goals to mark off, and he got it.
And yeah, as I said, Lexi was given some Larox there, so that's another drug on the drug list.
Mm-hmm. So has she used the drugs? I don't think she's used the drugs on the monsters yet. She's probably going to grab another one. No.
Yeah.
JP, on the other hand, I think he's at another drug tournament, I believe. I could be mistaken, though. Nash kind of contemplating going to that F-rank tournament, but I think he decided against it at the last second.
Likes he getting rid of some of the vendor trash, like the flowers. Plants like to give you flowers, of course.
Little ironic. Plant-based monster going around picking flowers.
Where did it get the flowers from? Does it pick them off its body, or does it find them around the farm? These are the questions that we don't have answers to.
I mean,
it's a weird game.
It is. Imagine if, for example, an arrowhead monster, a giant crab, gave you a bunch of crab legs. Like, how would you feel about that?
I mean, technically in real life, crab legs grow back, so you know that's probably okay. Also, I noticed JP was fighting Pivros there, managed to get hit by two 20% crackers, and then the Pivros activated Unity, which is a battle special that you'll only see on the Color Pandoras, those little caterpillar things.
Mm-hmm. Unity, yeah, it's a strange battle special. I don't think it does much, if anything, in this game.
It's broken. It's supposed to increase guts rate and movement speed, but in fact decreases guts rate and movement speed. So activating Unity is the bad thing because it makes your monster worse in battle. Have you mentioned battle specials yet? Or
yeah, we saw Nat's grit earlier, and I kind of touched on them. I didn't really go into detail of all of them, but I think.
Well,
oh no,
there are a lot of them.
We didn't mention the two easiest battle specials to get that any monster can have is Power and Anger, which we've seen Anger, I think, a couple of times with Nash's monster. Basically, if your monster is bad-natured, it'll have Anger, and when activated, it increases your monster's guts rate, but it also makes it easier to hit. So it's a little bit of a double-edged sword. It
is actually insanely overpowered, though, compared to Power.
Yes, Power, the second one, it's only on good-natured monsters, and when your monster gets to, I believe, a quarter of its health, it has a chance to activate Power, where its damage output is doubled. It has a huge boost to its strength for a short period of time in its dire situation. And, in a user-controlled environment, that is incredibly good, but difficult to activate without getting KO'd. And when you have an AI using it, it is very detrimental because, well, it might not have enough guts to attack, so it might just choose to let it run out.
Nash's monster singing a birthday song right now, or Colt singing a birthday song to the monster. Very interesting monster. It's the Mustard Arrow. It's an arrowhead with the sub-Suazo. One of the
very
freakiest looking monsters. One of the really cool, appealing things about this game is how varied and interesting the monsters do look.
Yeah, we've seen sexy succubus monsters. We've seen freaky alien monsters like Nash's Mustard Arrow. And as I mentioned that, he did just mark off 3 different drugs on one monster.
Nice. The monster JP is using was famously coined Beanbag Sonic by a streamer a few years ago.
Yeah.
I forget which one it was, but there was a Twitch streamer who decided to play Monster Rancher, and he was using this monster, and it's like, it's Beanbag Sonic!
Yeah, I think I'm not sure if he's been streaming very often. I can't recall his name either. I think he might have disappeared off the radar. But
Lexi at the moment fighting Rock Geiger in the C rank tournaments. So she's still going to tournaments, even though she's already marked off win 8 of them.
Yeah, it's interesting. This isn't a tournament that gives any prizes, I don't think. Or is she still at the Torble University Cup? I believe so.
Yeah.
This doesn't give any prizes, but it does have a nice prize purse, I guess. Maybe that's what she wants right now, is just some money.
Yeah, money's always good. Money in this game is quite arbitrary, because when you're in a bingo... It's actually interesting, because when you're in a bingo race, you find money is quite a scarce commodity, and you need it more than you realize. But if you're just playing casually, money is like the easiest thing to get in the game.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I think I know. Okay, she's probably just getting a bit of money so that she can go on errantry, because she still needs to get Seed Gatling, which she does have enough uses of Seed Gun to get.
Yes,
Although
Seed
it's tough to
Gatling,
say.
she may be going for a TLBR, sorry, and getting 999 damage, which Seed Gatling would help for.
Possibly.
Quite a strong attack.
It's difficult to say, though, because it's so tough to get 999 damage, because she's probably going to need at least 800 intelligence to get that.
If you were to fight a low defense monster and get a crit with Seed Gatling, because it is a sharp tech, so it has a high crit rate. 999 damage wouldn't be that hard, but it would require at least like 500 intelligence, and she hasn't really been working on the monster's intelligence that much.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Perhaps maybe she just grabs Seed Gun because it's one of the better plant moves.
JP currently deciding what drills to do for this monster. Generally, if you're quick raising a monster for any sort of race or bingo, you'll want like a little bit of life to endure hits, either speed or defense so you don't die, and then just one good attacking stat, so either power or intelligence. Going for a mixed attack or a balanced build tends to be a bad idea. As you can see, Nash has got very strong power on this arrowhead, but not much else. Long Punch there doing like more than half of Reknan's health. Long Punch is a pretty good attack though, so.
Yeah, he's Nash has gone on record saying multiple times that Long Punch is one of the best basic moves in the game and one of the best like slot 2 moves in the game.
Oh yeah, that's just a fact based on how quick the attack is and what his stats are like. And arrowheads are interesting because they don't have most monsters have like basic tech in slot 1 and a basic tech in slot 2, and that's how they come off the disc. Arrowheads have a basic in slot 1 and a basic in slot 3, so you can basically just, if you excuse the pun, you only need that one move in slot 2, and it's pretty good for arrowheads.
Mm-hmm. So we might have somebody joining us in commentary pretty soon here. Another rancher that is excited to commentate on the race.
Cool. Is Alan showed up then?
Yeah.
I didn't think else it could be.
But until that time, we do still have the race happening here, of course. Nash in a pretty sizable lead. He just did mark off 2 Crab's Claws in inventory. So now he begins the struggle of wins, losses mirrored on grid, and go bankrupt in order to get that double. So we are pretty close to the end here, I think. And
yeah, I mean, if
hey,
Nash just gets a wins loss mirrored and then goes bankrupt, it's got the double bingo right there.
I'm late, but I'm here. Hi.
Hey,
I'm
Alana.
so sorry.
It's
Hi,
okay.
Imogen.
Hey guys, could you turn Elena down slightly?
Oh god, I'm so sorry.
It's alright. We haven't had a chance to balance audio, have we?
So
sorry.
I loved your plan though. You told me that you tried to stay up all night because you knew you were going to sleep in.
Yeah, I knew that I was going to sleep in, and then I passed out at the most inopportune moment.
Well, we're pretty close to the end of the race here. I don't know if you see the stream.
Yeah, I'm watching it right now.
Okay, Nash is a couple goals away from getting a victory here. It's interesting. We've seen this happen before where one racer, in this case Lexi, had a pretty good start and seemed to be in the lead for at least a little bit. And then suddenly somebody just comes up out of nowhere and steamrolls into first place.
That would be Nash, yeah?
Yeah.
Nash taking the opportunity to win because I'm not here. Though Nash actually lost every single bingo race, every single practice that we did. It was either me, JP, or Lexi winning.
Yep. Yeah. So this is his time to shine. This is his opportunity.
Yeah. It's got to happen eventually, eh? A baby boy fighting Offrey right now, the ghost type monsters. As we said, when monsters die, monsters can die in this game. Offrey is a ghost type, and it's one of those monsters that's unlocked only if you kill off a monster. So if you never had a monster die, if you like froze them and combined them and never let them die, you'd never unlock Ghost.
Mm-hmm.
And there are
Which is saddening because it's saddening that Ghost is actually an okay monster in my book.
As I mentioned earlier, Kitty is the monster you send your monster against. You just take a baby out of the freezer or at the shrine, send it up against Kitty, and bam! A couple years later, you got a Ghost.
Mm-hmm. Badger saying in chat, I never saw that as a kid. Yeah, I mean, that's interesting that you wouldn't be able to fight Ghost. It's only a C rank monster, Offrey. But, I mean, you may never have unlocked them, for sure, because, as Jack was describing, if you don't let your monsters die, you'll never unlock certain monsters.
Yeah, there are a couple of other monsters like Raki and Mark, who you need to have a monster die, and then they show up on the ranch next week. Nope, I've had all three frozen for me. That's weird.
Yeah, you did start cutting in and out a little bit there.
Yeah.
Hey, Nash got it. Wins losses mirrored on grid. After losing a couple of matches, he just gave up the last one and managed to get it.
That is
How many...
quite an annoying goal as well, because I tried it for, I think it took me one of our races about 20 minutes to get, and it was my last goal.
We've had some rough paths to that goal, to be completely fair. We've had people take almost up to an hour just getting that goal, either giving up in between or still going.
Yeah, so it looks like Nash is just gonna go bankrupt here and then get the game over screen. Because fun fact, a lot of people don't know this. You can game over in this game. It's kind of because as long as you have money, you can always get monsters for free, either out the shrine or out the market. But and a lot of people say, yeah, we've never seen the game over screen, and it's like, yeah, if you just lose all of your money, that's it. The game is over, and Nash is just going to roll over 1 week, and there we go.
There it is, 0G.
Well, we still have 45 minutes left after Nash marks off that double bingo. Geez,
game
did
over.
Did you bet this card, or
I did? Hello? Yes, I went for I went for row 3 and column 2 myself, and I got 2 hours and 20 minutes. So Nash just beat my record with this card. Congratulations, Nash.
Thank you. I know you said that you had a premonition that someone was going to finish in under 2 hours, and that you would hate them if they did, because it would screw up your entire estimate. But my apologies.
You didn't finish. Oh, you didn't finish under
my
2
dream
hours.
was that somebody finished in, I think, an hour and 40-some minutes.
Dude, that's so close to what I got.
A lot closer to our estimate of 2 hours and 45. Well, I don't know. Would you be down for continuing and going for a triple? Do you think you can do that within 40 minutes?
In another 40 minutes, probably.
All you gotta do is beat 3 F ranks and kill 3 Mochis.
Yeah, the Mochi thing is kind of difficult, though. I have to get lucky on errantry.
You've always got a Lamb Sweet.
Oh god, I don't know if I could beat rank A. I don't have any stats above 300.
Well, not with that attitude.
JP managed to get lucky and hit Naughty, one of the Mochi Kato in one of the errantries.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I saw him hit that. I'm like, he definitely got that on errantry. There's no way he's in rank A yet. Yeah, look at my stats. I got 370 power. I don't think I'm beating rank A, but let's take a look at the card real quick, see if there's something else I can make pop up here. 800 intelligence, unlock 15 cards, 50 grand is probably the easiest. 50 grand super easy to get. That might be the play. And then
Might
just
be.
raise my Suezo up to 800 because that's like stupid easy.
Yeah, that could work.
Okay. So yeah, I'll go for a triple then if we're gonna do that.
Yeah, if
Just to see.
JP and Lex, if you guys want to continue, and
All right, yeah, we'll carry on.
I'm down to
We still got like 40 minutes, so
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can do this.
and
believe-
yeah, if you guys would like to stay in the chat as well, I mean, we could talk about the double bingo maybe as you guys are playing here, kind of, dig into your heads a little bit about what your strategy was at the beginning of this.
Yeah, sure. So originally, I was going to go for column 1 and row 3. I was going to go bankrupt super early, start a brand new file, and then get 50k. And because Suezo can do sumo, it made sense to just get a market Suezo. And I was pretty close to the 15 cards, so I could have done a lot of stuff on the first file and then restarted and started with just the market Suezo and finished off the rest of it. But then I realized I had done the foolery 6 times in one battle against Oakley Man. I was laughing about it on stream, and I didn't actually realize that was one of the bingo squares until Lexi marked it off. And I was like, oh, you know what? Row 3 and row 4 is actually probably pretty easy. And so I went for that instead.
yeah,
Now-
I was looking at row 2 because it synergizes quite well with Call 3. Because if you've got to fill up your freezer with monsters anyway, you can unlock 5 more cards.
I'm just I don't like doing the the expeditions. Personally,
fair
that's
enough.
just the thing that I find that really I feel like I have to put points into life, and it kind of dictates how I build my monster, which, I mean, obviously there's nothing wrong with that, right? But just what I had in mind, I felt like that was too much of an issue.
You did have like the arrowhead though, so they don't have terrible gains in life. Do
Yeah.
you have yours patched with the swim glitch? I can't remember if I do or not.
I don't know. There's still a swim glitch in this, so I was kind of screwed.
So just for anybody who's unaware of swim glitch, there's a heavy drill called swim where you're supposed to be getting very good gains in defense, and if your monster has really good gains in defense, that's great.
It switches, basically swim switches, because you raise 2 stats in that defense and life, and it will switch your defense and life gains. So if you got a monster that has very good life and crap defense, you can send it to swim and it'll get like excellent defense gain gross. But it also works the opposite, whereas a monster like Arrowhead, which has very good defense and average life, it means if you send it to swim, it will be getting average defense gains.
Nash, I did want to point this out, and I didn't know about this either, but Arrowhead's play type is Mudball.
Yeah, I noticed. I noticed.
There's absolutely
I
no
was sitting there, I'm
reason.
like, okay, this works out perfectly, and then I was like, oh, well, I just wasted a minute. I was debating to just get up and go get a drink while it was happening, but it actually gave me a little bit to talk about on stream because, as some of you may know, these games were recently ported in Japan to the Switch and to mobile devices, and certain characters in that game and in Monster Farm, which is what the Japanese name for this game is, Monster Farm 2, the model is desynced from, like, in that snowball fight game. So it's actually impossible to win because you can't tell where the monster is. It looks like they're right in front of you, but if you shoot a snowball at them, it will not hit. And you can't target nothing. Like, the game won't let you hone your cursor in on like an empty space, and which is where the monster's hitbox actually is. So it's not actually possible to win. And on top of that, a really funny thing is that because it's desynced, the snowballs spawn from wherever the monster hitbox is. So you'll see them throw it, and then you'll just see a snowball fly from like your peripheral vision, like cross court, and you're like, "What the fuck?"
I hate that. That seems like a haunted monster. Are you sure
Yeah, no,
that's
I don't-
not the ghost?
Yeah, I don't know why it happens, but there's something wrong with the way it desyncs, and it's very awkward to play. I had this issue with, I think I was raising a Kato on stream. Kato's like this very small cat monster, So you can see his whole model really, really easily in the snowball game, and then the snowballs were just flying like left and right, even though I was looking directly at him. And I don't know, it was bizarre.
You gotta increase your skill. That's all.
Yeah.
Alexia may be getting wind losses mirrored here, by the way.
She's already got that.
Already, yeah. That's the second
like-
time I've done that.
That was like your first, second goal that you marked off, wasn't it, Lex?
I got pretty lucky early on.
Mm-hmm. It's normally
Yeah,
such
I saw
a-
her do that. I'm like, man, it's gonna take me 9 years to get this.
you just having flashbacks to all the other races.
Oh my god,
Huh.
it's happened before with that exact goal. It's happened before.
But it
Damn
only
it.
took you one reset. Nash.
Two,
Uh,
but yes.
Oh, okay, yeah. But yeah, there was another thing I wanted to point out. Like we've had this happen before in our practice runs where one, the times are all over the place. We can never get an exact estimate for Monster Rancher 2 Bingo. But two, like we always seem to have one person start off really strong, and then at the halfway point, somebody will just come in and start marking off goals left and right.
Yeah, everything just kind of seems to switch everywhere. But I
Mhm.
mean, that's how this game works.
Yeah, the game's so RNG intensive. It's very difficult to estimate how long a bingo would take.
And it's funny because this card actually has very little RNG on it too, but it's totally possible that I could be trying to do what I just did and still be here until, well, for like another 3 hours. Like it's totally possible that would happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
And
Case
that's
in point, I've lost around 30 minutes in my run getting hit by 220% by soccer a fart.
mhm,
So,
Yeah, we saw that.
Not very lucky.
yeah.
JP,
Sorry.
next time just keep going. Don't reset. Keep going. Fight Sakura later.
Yeah, you went
I
through an
ended up doing
entire
it-
tournament.
I mean, I ended up doing it like after I lost the second time. Like, all right, I'm not going to sit here and reset forever. But the first time, I literally lost because I got hit by 220%. So I'm like, well, that's probably not going to happen a second time. So I'm just going to reset. Might as well. And then it happened a second time, and I'm like, well, okay.
I think
So-
anyone gets salty at that, to be honest. I can't blame you.
Mm-hmm. I wanted to ask
It's embarrassing
JP,
to lose the Sakura fight.
did you intend to go against Naughty, or was that just like luck of the draw kind of thing?
I was intending. I went there specifically because Shockwave was not a bad move considering my skill was not very high, and Tachi was there, and I figured I could beat up Tachi. But then I fought Naughty, and I actually won against Naughty, so I took it to the bank.
It was very close. I did see your AI had a bit of difficulty finishing that off, but
But then you lost. We had a good laugh when you lost to Bustler, though.
yeah.
Oh,
I
the
can't
hair?
believe I lost to that darn one.
That's so funny.
Why were you fighting Bustler in the first place? Like, why not just quit?
Man.
But you only get.
I think we
1,000
all
back
made
anyway.
some mistakes that we don't really have answers for in this run.
Oh, yeah, for definite.
I entered two different tournaments that were elimination tournaments and just had to like wait.
I did that exact same thing last time when I was doing when I wanted wins losses mirrored. I kept going to elimination tournaments. I'm like, you can't get wins losses in
Yeah,
these.
it's not possible.
There's
no grid.
Okay. Nash, I thought you were trying to get sumo with your Suezo by going to a battle and then just leaving because sometimes they ask for things after battle.
Oh no, I was originally gonna enter it to try and get the wins losses mirrored, and then but that was really the only reason I was doing it.
Okay. Here I thought you had a plan. And
No,
that you
so my
actually
plan with
thought
Suezo
out.
was just well, yeah, no, that was completely accidental. My apologies if you tried to explain it on stream because it was not a real thing.
Okay.
Engine, it's Monster Rancher 2 Bingo. Whoever has a plan.
Yeah. Well, okay, so I did want to ask, JP, did you have a plan? Did you have a couple of lines that you were actually aiming for? Because your goals are all over the card.
Yeah, so I always, whenever I get a goal, I always like grab it, even if it's an incidental goal. So like foolery 6 times, truancy, win 8, whatever. Realistically, from the beginning, I wanted row 3, call 3 because that was a lot of battles, and I figured that'd be good for the marathon, just just the show off. But so I actually from the beginning had a plan. It was call 3, row 3. And that's still what I'm going for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Jack and I were kind of debating maybe you were going for column 3, row 2. Maybe column 4 was still on the table. But
I was never gonna go for row 4. I think Nash is an absolute madman for going for row 4 because Sumo's there.
We were joking about that, yeah.
I generally tend to stray away from the errantry goals. So I wasn't really going to go for those. I wanted to, but I just didn't want to deal with, not errantry, expedition. I just don't super like the expeditions. I don't find them very fun.
It also depends on what sort of monster you get. So Lexi's a monster, the scales would be perfect for the errantry goals, or expedition goals, I should say.
Yeah, those. Well, speaking of Lexi's goals, what was your plan? Did you have 2 lines in mind when you started?
I was going to go call 2 and then top left, bottom right.
Oh, Jack
What was your plan
actually
for
called that
999?
one.
Yeah, what was your plan for 999 damage? Was that just get Seed Gatling and hope for a crit?
No, go to S rank and then get hit by something for a lot of damage.
Okay. Is there anything that does so much damage in S rank?
Let's see. I can't think of anybody off the top of my head that would be able to. Maybe Prometheus, because he's got laser sword, right?
Yeah, Prometheus and
Yeah.
the Zum, whatever it's called.
Zagrif.
Zagref, yeah, it's got pretty good power.
The dragon with like dragon or whatever it's called, the slot 3 special move that costs 50 could also probably pop you if it hits.
Oh, but that's in the Major Force tournaments, right?
Legend Cup.
Is
Yeah.
that Major 4? Whoopsie.
Major 4.
Never mind. Disregard me.
Yeah, you would have to beat the S rank official in order to go to
have
those.
to basically beat the whole game.
Yeah, you're thinking of Zelandia.
Although maybe Siva would have enough strength to pop you pretty good. Maybe.
What
I think it has.
That does require getting a barn upgrade, though.
No. Siva,
Siva,
not
Siva, yeah,
Lazarus.
you're right. Yeah.
What was the Zilla that's in A rank?
Go
Go
Trek.
Trek.
Does that have Earthquake?
Yep.
Actually, we're
You
about
won't-
to find
you
out,
can't-
I think,
don't think-
because
I don't
JP's
think you can
going
get
to
it
the
to
Tellermine
do
Cup.
999 though.
No,
It
we're
would have
about
to be a
find out.
crit. I know this because when I was making my last YouTube video, I was trying to get footage, and I could not get Gotrek to KO my monster with like 400 defense and 500 life.
Oh,
Earthquake was doing like 400 damage.
I'm running minimum defense at the minute thanks to my form.
I mean,
Oh,
yeah,
boy.
but with a crit, possibly, but I think it'd be very unlikely. Sorry. I don't know what the best way to get that would be. I genuinely don't know.
I think it would have to synergize with the 800 intelligence, but with the 800
Yeah, it would
speed
have
being
to.
there, that row is impossible.
That's really difficult, yeah.
Yeah, I've done a little bit of digging into it, like for strategizing. Geez, but I think Zoom's roll assault would be a good option if you're trying to go for 999 damage.
Really?
Yeah, because you can, if you only focus on power, I think you could easily win.
Yeah, it's 40
get up
force,
into the B
right?
rank.
It's B rank and B force. That's not bad.
And it's got a pretty good accuracy too. So all you got to do is just get it, and then maybe go up against an E rank monster if you if they
maybe.
don't give up. Or Million
You can
would
also
be
just
a good
you could also just do that. I think if Kitty crit bangs a market hair, will it get 999?
No, I think that
No.
caps out at about 600, 700.
Yeah, Katie's bang is strong, but not that strong.
Sadly enough.
Yeah, it would be really hard to force it on an opponent monster. I think you would have to go for it yourself.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking.
And currently, Godrake's roll assault is 4%. So even if it could do 999 damage, it's not going to.
You'd be surprised. Some weird
Earthquake
stuff
is
has happened
1%.
before.
I mean, you're not wrong there, Eleanor. Because when I did Monster Rancher 2 at UKSG a few years ago, I got hit by a 2% from Ordorf.
Oh wow!
Oh, that's
And
not
Order
forget.
of hits kind
Special.
of. Order of hits really hard.
But yeah, Ordorf wouldn't be able to do 999 either. I don't think he's got Samurai Kick. I think.
Ordorf has,
You'd need crit ninja kick. That would be the. But even then, maybe not.
And
Yeah,
you have to
I think-
consider as well. By the time you get into the S rank or to a place where you can fight the S rank, you probably are gonna do enough damage mitigation that you're not gonna get hit for 999.
Yeah.
Gotta admit, picking goals in bingo was never my strong point.
No, I kind of flounder around for first a little bit. I think like, okay, what's the
Yeah.
easiest line? I try to focus on one thing, and then while I'm working on one, I slowly decide what I want to do for the other one.
Mhm.
Yeah, I did the same. I'll switch lines 3 or 4 times in a bingo race. Go like, I got this goal here. Oh, I got some RNG. I might as well go for this one. Oh, I've got something else. I might as well switch again.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And that's
exactly.
exactly it. Just throughout playing it, you might accidentally pick up other goals, or unintentionally rather. So, may as well.
Yeah, I gotta admit, I'm pretty stubborn with my goals once I find something. And that's
Yeah, I
not-
So I've added this card. We would have been done right around now if it was based on my time. I took a Market Mochi and I got column 2, row 3, and I kept screwing up the first adventure though, because I would try to find the Phoenix Feather, and my Mochi was intelligence based because I went Pedal Swirl into what is it, Pedal Vortex.
Yeah, I
Oh,
believe
yeah.
it's Pedal Vortex.
And that finished that tech chain, but I didn't have any power. So on the first adventure, I would try to bust through the obstacles, and by the time I finally got to the place to search, I had like maybe 1 or 2 searches that I could do.
Oh, unfortunate.
That
Oh,
is
buddy.
saddening.
But,
So you have to break through
I
like
mean-
what, 2 rocks or something?
Yeah,
23% from Siva. Kill me.
The 100% speedrun requires taking a 0 power Kato to pair, and you have to break through the strongest rock and the giant pumpkin.
hmm
Wait,
To-
for which
that's,
speedrun is that?
For the 100%.
Oh, 100%.
How much life do you have on that? 140 or?
40.
Wow.
Yeah.
Also, JP, I heard you and I saw, and that was a little unfortunate.
I wasn't
little?
exactly looking at his screen at the time. What happened?
Siva nearly one-hit KO him, and then he wasn't able to
Oh,
do
wait.
enough damage against the dragon to
Oh.
even.
That's okay. Never mind. I saw that. Never mind. What was that? Like a 20-something% flying combo? Was it?
23% flying combo. Siva, as long as I play smart, Siva can't hit me with anything after that. Because Guts correction good. So I just need to not get hit by the double coin flip. I need to not get hit no toxic laser, and then I did. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Just
guts
need
correction.
things not to happen, and then they happen. That's just how it goes.
Guts correction is a funny thing in that if you have a monster with a faster guts rate, it actually has a disadvantage of sorts against monsters with slow guts rates. It's some sort of balancing act that the game code does in order to make it so slow guts monsters aren't at a terrible disadvantage, because if you can't build up guts, well, you can't attack, and it's much better to have a fast guts monster. In fact, the one that's regarded as the best in the game, Metalner, has the fastest guts rate in the game.
Which is why
It's
it's
a
banned in
broken
many
guts
tournaments.
rate, if you ask me.
Very broken. It's always banned. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Always.
When we run our tournaments, we don't ban Metalners outright, but we do shame people who want to enter one.
For shame.
How
want to
dare
turn
you
on
use this
Metalner
overpower?
recently.
Yes, I remember.
I say
that.
recently, as like time doesn't matter during lockdown anymore, but that was like 6 months ago at this point.
Wow, it really was,
Summer
wasn't it?
Olympics.
It went all. It was a blur for me. I was the host of that tournament, and it was a 34-hour tournament. So, yeah, it came and it went.
Jesus.
We mentioned that there was they've recently been ported to Japan, ported to Android and Switch, and recently they did run a tournament with was it like 6,000 entries?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just over
the
7,000.
top 8 had like several Metalners in it. I mean,
Yeah. So out of 7,000 entries, they were all 1v1 elimination. So round 2 is only 3,500, and round 3 so on. By the end of it, there was only 8 monsters left, and it was 6 out of 8 were Metalners.
Mm-hmm. And then the
because
other
they're
2
so
were
strong.
other fast guts monsters as well, pure Undine and a rare tiger as well.
What's
Which,
really
does
funny
that-
though is that there was only like 350 Metalners entered in the entire tournament. It was like less than 0.5%, and no, sorry, it was not less than 0.5%. It was 5%, and 5% of the player base, and 80% or more of the top 8.
I wonder if a bunch of Metalners just eliminated other Metalners or
Each
something.
other, they must have, yeah.
But
I actually
were
lost
pretty
to
optimally, yeah.
the Metalner that got second place in the entire tournament eliminated me in round 3. So that was really unfortunate. But
I did notice that we did get some more donations here. If the hosts of Bingothon want to jump in,
Sure. So we do have a donation from our very own Jack of Hearts, and it's a $20 donation saying that's Monster Rancher, baby.
That's Monster
someone
Rancher,
said
baby.
it.
Finally.
Yeah, so thank you for that donation, Jack.
yeah, big bucks. All right.
So how much time we got left before we're getting kicked out of here?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. We've had our small talk. I'm not sure if the hosts have 18 minutes of stuff prepared that they can fill time with, or if they want us to keep going.
I don't know what their deal is. I'm probably not going to finish in time. Is why I was asking. Like my third line is probably going to take about another 45 minutes. So that's a way overestimate.
Still worth a shot. If you can't make it, you can't make it.
I guess
Well,
the question comes down to if the other 2 can finish their double bingo in time, because usually we'll let the others finish their runs as well.
Right.
I don't think I'll
Yeah.
be able to finish mine in time, but I am about to get to the expedition, so that's something new that we can show off.
Oh yeah, we
Wait,
could definitely
have-
show off the adventure.
Have you guys not done Expedition yet?
Nope, not a single one.
I think you guys can
Finally,
go,
something
a little
new.
bit over estimate if you can manage to finish stuff in time.
Sure, we
If
can
it seems
continue to fill
possible,
time.
yeah.
Like we're not super strict on that. So I don't know, if it goes 5 minutes over, then that's fine, I guess.
I think our biggest concern right
Hopefully.
now is we just don't want to stomp on your toes right now and ruin everything with our poor estimates.
Yeah.
My poor ass.
Yeah, I'm a little ways away from 800 intelligence. 50 grand is eluding me at the moment. 15 monster unlocks will be really, really simple. But yeah, it's hard for me to say exactly how long it'll take for me to get my triple. So if Lexi and JP can get their stuff done, that'd be pretty good.
Well, if JP keeps getting these unlucky attacks against Siva, I don't know if he's gonna finish one life.
Yeah.
I think I'm probably going to be done within the next 20 minutes or so, because all I got to do is chug this telemine, win New Year's, and then go win whatchamacallit. Heroes, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. We've just had word from the organisers that 20 to 25 minutes is when they want to start the interview, so you've got 20 to 25 minutes.
Okay, perfect.
All right.
So did you notice I got Kasumi
Oh yeah.
from the
Yeah.
Like, isn't it only? It's like a 2% chance to get a rare monster or something.
Just 1% chance to get a
1%?
rare
Wow.
monster from.
Yeah, that was my second shrine monster.
Yeah. Let's take a look at the names here. Yeah, so Mario was had the rare pixie. He also had the pixie plant, hair pixie, a lot of pixie stuff with the Mario name. Piantissimo, did they have a rare? No.
I don't think Piantissimo had a rare.
Plant Zoom and then Naga Golem and then so yeah,
it had a different selection for sure.
So Elena and I vetted the names and we made sure that the racers would get at least some monsters so they're not completely shut out from getting things from the shrine. But normally we just put in random names of a bunch of numbers and letters and stuff, and we go in completely blind is how the bingos usually go. But for this, we wanted to make that estimate as easily as we could, and we kind of blew it out of the water, didn't we?
I mean, being 30 minutes fast is pretty solid. It's totally possible that it could have taken 4 hours. So, like, it's not too bad. But yeah, what Engine was talking about earlier is that it's totally possible to go to the shrine and not get anything, because there's a lot of stuff you have to unlock in this game, and with the fresh file, a lot of the monsters aren't available from the beginning of the game. So we've had runs where every time you go to the shrine, it's like, sorry, this monster is too rare, you can't get it yet. And so that's what he's talking about with regards to vetting. Just making sure that the names are at least going to give you something every now and then.
Oh, congrats,
So-
Lex.
Oh, did they already get the?
No,
Yeah,
you got the Phoenix
they already
Feather,
got-
though.
Yeah, already got the Phoenix Feather.
Oh, I forgot. I forgot that I had this on push to talk, so you could hear me racing.
My mic was muted too, so no one was hearing anything I was saying for the past 5 minutes.
Oh, you
Were you
probably
actually?
thought we were all
Oh
just
my God.
interrupting you or something.
Yeah, I was like, why is everyone interrupting me? It's like my voice meter just crashes sometimes, and I can't work out why.
That's understandable.
I was going to say
So-
something now, I completely forgot.
I mean, you've already said it. It's just nobody's heard you say it.
JP going to the Heroes Cup here with Smoogie. I was saying that a guy in the community, Smiling Faces, has also recently created a pseudo randomizer for it, which allows unlocking, or which allows certain monsters already unlocked at the beginning of the game, but will also lock monsters that should be unlocked in vanilla.
Which it's really interesting because I don't think we haven't had a randomizer like that before. So having something like this definitely adds a new spin to something that we can do.
Yeah, it's nice, like going to the market and already having the Suezo is a very good monster for bingo in a lot of places. But if we went to the market and we didn't have like we knew it would be like 3 basic monsters that could be completely different, it would certainly make bingos more interesting as well.
Yeah, I was about to say, Monster Rancher 2 Randomizer Bingo? That actually might be really fun.
That's definitely not marathon safe though. That's
No.
Oh no, not marathon safe.
May as well
But
go for
the
a Monster
randomizer-
Dragon.
Maybe if we estimated at 4 hours.
The randomizer isn't completely finished yet either, so I think there's more features that want to be added.
it just goes to show that like how much effort is still being put into this game and like how much people care about it. It's kind of unfortunate that the ports probably aren't going to get an English release. But there is a pretty vibrant community for this game, and if you're interested, join the Discord, join some tournaments. Everybody's super friendly. Everybody likes helping out.
Are we alright to plug the link to the Monster Rancher Discord?
I mean, you can just
Sure.
find it on the Reddit. If you just go to the Reddit, you'll find the link there.
Yeah, it's not difficult to find. We haven't made it obscure in any way, so
Unlike
I tend to
Unless
link
you
it.
don't go to Reddit. Unless
You're-
you just don't go to Reddit, then yeah, you're kind of screwed there.
I found it by just googling Monster Rancher Discord like a couple years ago.
There you go.
And I found
I
it.
actually I did the same exact thing. I will not lie.
yeah, it's funny you mentioned the Reddit because yeah, that's where I went to get the link to the Discord, and then suddenly I'm bombarded by Monster Rancher memes that I'd never seen before.
Community you didn't know existed.
Yeah.
But now we know it exists, and here we are.
Oh,
Yeah, that's like the
JP.
average. Oh no,
Oh.
what happened to JP?
Oh,
A last second fire charge from Callahan.
that is saddening. You hate to see it.
Pretty much frame 0.
But yeah,
You
the
have,
general response when somebody joins the Discord is like, "Oh, I didn't realize people still cared about this game. I thought I was the only one."
Yeah.
Oh yes, and one of our newest mods is in the Discord is the owner of Legend Cup, which was one of the only Monster Rancher websites still going. It was a bit
It's
defunct for a while, and he's brought it back to life. And the Discord is linked on legendcup.com.
It's
And,
honestly gotten a lot better at being filled with all of the information for any Monster Rancher game.
Mm-hmm. And Monster Fenric as well. Sort of a pioneer in like digging for data on this game, because when it first came out, people looked at this like a mix of like Pokemon and Tamagotchi. You know, just keep it alive and go to battles and. But as people started playing this more, they started realizing, you know, there's
It's a very
hidden
hard
stress
game.
and fatigue
If-
and-
if-
yeah,
If you don't know a lot of the hidden mechanics, it's a very hard game.
is very
It has a
intricate
lot
for
of
sure.
hidden mechanics.
Ooh, Jack.
Wow, that
Roboted
was
a little bit there.
yeah.
Jack of Hearts, more like Jack of Blender. You good?
Hey, Lamau.
Jack of Stutter.
I just reset voice meter again. Is that better?
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just saying there's a lot of hidden mechanics,
Yeah.
and the game doesn't tell you about any of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally like it is like a classic '90s game where if you don't have the manual, you're pretty screwed. And even if you do have the manual, it doesn't tell you much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really comparable. Well, not in gameplay, but like as far as like mechanic obfuscation and that kind of stuff. To like Digimon World 1 is a much more popular game, and it's notorious for just like not holding your hand at all. It doesn't tell you anything. And this game is basically more of the same, except it's a little bit more of a sim as opposed to like an adventure game. But like in Digimon World, it doesn't tell you how to digivolve your monsters or anything like that, and so you're just flying completely blind unless you have someone helping you out. And this game is basically
Why
that.
do I keep getting Numamon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why does my monster
This-
keep dying at a year and a half old?
Yeah. This game is basically pick a monster. Good luck.
Hey,
Oh, pick-
guys, can I jump in real quick with something?
Yeah, sure,
Absolutely.
go on ahead.
So we got a donation here from a very lovely Nordic Soy, who is also one of the hosts here at Bingothon. who is up in like about an hour-ish, by the way. And message is, hey Pika. Oh yeah, by the way, $10. I forgot $10. With the comment, hey Pika, here's to $250 and $1 extra. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you, Nordic.
Yeah, he also put it towards our up next incentive, the road trip adventure reach the end of the game incentive, which is currently at $10 out of 35. So thank you very much for that, Nordic, and you know, fill up the rest of this incentive, guys.
You're pretty
All
close to
right.
blacking out the card as well at this point. Like,
There's
it's
a
just
couple of squares we're not going to hit, but yeah.
Yeah, the speed, the intelligence, and 999 damage, probably the hardest ones, but
Jill
Yeah.
statue's kind of irritating as well.
yeah, we were discussing that earlier. You really need. You can get to the Jill statue with the minimum life for that expedition, which is 210, but you won't be able to get back. And if you've got like no power, you do need to get past 2 ice
The
blocks.
2 big ice bombs. Yeah.
Yeah,
Is there 2? I thought there was only the one, and
No,
then
there's 2
you
in a
can go
row.
around the other one.
Oh yeah, you can go around the other one. That's right.
But then it is also a very long track. Like it's in the far corner of the map, and if you want to take the shorter route, then there's more obstacles in your way. So
the
it's,
shortest route requires 700 intelligence, so you can find a hidden path. Because the expedition that Lexi went to was the tiniest, shortest one, with basically a straight path to the end and only one place to search. But once you get to the other expeditions, they're a lot bigger. They're a lot more mazy. There's loads of places to search, loads of items you can pick up. And if you don't know where you're going, you'll get lost easily.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was one of the first things me and my brother did when we played this game, was map out the expedition maps by hand. So we had we had notebooks full of like what CD gave what, which ones were locked, expedition maps, tech chains, and stuff like that, all written down by hand because we just did that. We played it that much.
I miss games that did that kind of thing.
To be, if I'm gonna be honest, back when I still played it as a kid, I felt like I was the only kid who knew what the what the game was, because I didn't know that anyone else knew about the game when I was young.
In the UK, we didn't get any of the other Monster Rancher games. We just got Monster Rancher 2, and because we didn't get Monster Rancher 1, this one was just called Monster Rancher. Like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it wasn't a sequel. It was the only Monster Rancher game.
Somebody did bring up that fun fact like right at the beginning in chat, but yeah, it's strange the international releases.
It was still the exact same game though, with the same glitches and the same terrible translation.
Yeah,
translation of this game is great.
I do want to really quickly give an update on my time. I've finished the hardest part that I have left at this point. It's just resting a bunch, drowning some hard drugs, and then going and getting one more crab claw. So I'm basically done.
Remember, kids. Remember, kids. Don't do drugs. Feed them to your monster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I guess I can explain the way the drugs work, but you were talking to JP. I don't want to cut you off.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to say, like, if only you were almost done 40 minutes ago, then well, maybe you would have gotten first.
Hush you.
So anyway, there's basically 2 different types of drugs in this game. There's a lot of different drugs, but there are drugs that increase your stats, and there are drugs that act as a performance-enhancing drug for the next battle. And we saw that on my screen. I was using the performance-enhancing drugs to get other performance-enhancing drugs by just like completely steamrolling tournaments. There's one that I had that doubles your power and 50% power, 50% speed, I believe is what it is. And so even though my power is only like 300, I went in with 500 power That was pretty insane. And then another one raised my accuracy and my defense, and so that helped as well. So
Yeah.
the thing is that these come with the huge negative downside of just destroying your monster's lifespan. Pretty much everything you can give your monster in this game either affects its fatigue or stress or its lifespan in some way. And drugs are incredibly bad for your monster's lifespan. Sometimes mathematically it makes sense to give them the drugs, but for casual play, it's really not a thing you should really ever use.
Yeah, I've used the performance enhancing drugs for bingo races before, because I'd be like, you cannot beat this battle unless I have better stats. I can just give them a drug.
What are you gonna do? You're gonna go whole other year and then wait? Yeah.
Just give them a drug. They do really tank your lifespan though, because like an average monster has like 450 weeks of lifespan. And if your monster's got like 400 weeks, some of the drugs can take away 20 weeks. That's like 5% of your lifespan just gone.
Down
Nearly
the
half a
drain.
year.
That's literally almost an entire life stage for some monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah, a popular strat is to give one of the stat boosting items, which is either Troron or Paradoxine, which give you boosts in your power and skill. Give them to them as a baby when they're getting bad stats, and you can't. You can either drill them really hard, or you can just give them a drug to boost their stats and get them out of baby stage faster. That's like a legitimate good strat for them. That's like the only time it's used in casual play.
Probably the only game in existence that I know of that is okay with.
It's not only a good idea; it's encouraged to give drugs to your baby.
Yeah.
Well,
Lexi
Lexi is on an adventure, going to the jungle adventure, but
since I can't get the bingo, I thought I might as well show off some more of the game.
Which we are
bananas
at our estimate time right now. If one of the hosts want to pop in,
if we said go we can go for like 5 minutes over. So JP, if you're going to finish in the next like few minutes, we can keep going.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I don't see that. Sorry to say, JP.
Otherwise, I was gonna suggest if there's somebody who wants to end date their monster, we could watch the funeral sequence.
I saw it
Somebody
sometimes.
quick, get a
I'm
market
not sure
hair.
if I have anything that's close. I'm thinking about it. I have
Somebody
a hair.
quick, get a market hair.
Yeah, Big Kahuna is right. Why did you let Nash win?
I know. I'm sorry, guys. It happened again.
Again.
But I mean, Nash, your monster, you gave all 3 drugs to this monster, right?
Yeah.
It
He's
could be
still
pretty close to
in
that, right?
adolescence, though. No, he's in Elder, so he's a little ways away.
Yeah. Yeah, the only thing I could think of is
every
like
drug that you know of.
like 4 hard drills and then an
just
that would
hard
probably-
drill.
Just run him into the ground. Let's see if we can we get a monster death in the next 15 minutes.
The
we'll
funeral
try it.
scene in this game is pretty
The best
infamous.
I can do the worst.
Yeah, the funeral scenes in these games are pretty infamous because like the game makes you get attached to your monster. You know, you raise it, you love it, you care for it, you curate its stats, you take it to battles, and then it dies in one of the saddest funeral songs and funeral scenes from any game ever.
Yeah, would it be possible if we could get audio for Nash's, so that way we can get the music too?
Unfortunately, not. Just with the way we have it set up right now.
Oh,
That's fine. We'll get to see
saddening.
an arrowhead fall apart.
Yeah, that
Banged
is
by
true.
Kitty.
We do have an interview with Guppy from Fred Hutch coming up, so maybe if you can wrap it up in the next 5 minutes or so, is that still okay?
I don't know if it's
Fine.
doable, so yeah, we can just end it.
Yeah.
I think it might be possible for me to do it, but I don't. It might take maybe like 6, 7, 8 minutes. It's up to the hosts what they want to do.
Don't you just have to beat this F rank tournament?
For one
And-
line, yeah, but for
Oh,
another crab
yeah.
claw, no.
I saw the crab
It's not
claw.
going to be a 5-minute thing.
Yeah.
No.
Crapclaw's not that
Okay.
far away. Wrestling doesn't take that long.
Yeah, but a tournament itself is like 5 minutes. So
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it's
we're not
failing
gonna do that.
probably around 8 to 10 minutes. It's up to the host.
Yeah, that's too long. We should wrap it up,
Yeah,
guys.
we're already overestimate, so
yes, over. We're not under.
We
My
did
estimate was
it.
true.
we wasted enough time. Fantastic.
Okay, well, yeah, I guess that'll just about wrap things up.
JP
if-
fighting Maharati the Mighty there.
Yeah. So yeah, do you want to give your final thoughts on the race today? Starting with Nash.
Good race. Everybody played hard. You know, the better team won, but it happens. Everyone gave it 110%.
Yeah.
There is no
Lex?
modesty in the Monster Ranch community.
There is none. Yeah, the winner you lose.
Lexi, thoughts? Push stop.
Well, I've proven once again that I'm not very good at picking goals for these bingos, but I've had fun. I'm glad we managed to get this game out to more people. And I should probably get to working on that advanced viewer that I've continued to skive on for ages.
Gotta have that Niton support, please.
Yeah.
Please.
The advanced viewer able to see the monster's moves and how many times you used it as well, but not every monster filled in for that just yet. So.
By the way, I just completely killed off my monster.
Oh, you killed it?
Wait, you killed it? Oh my god, you killed it!
Wow, we get to see.
I'm still
funeral
so far away,
sequence
so
after
that's great.
And last thoughts, JP.
I had a great time here. Super fun. Thanks for having the Monster Rancher community on for Bingothon. Very nice. No, we definitely had a bit of a higher estimate compared to some of the other ones that I saw on the schedule. So thanks for putting us in here. Had a ton of fun. I liked the part where I said hi to my mom and dad.
Yeah, we saw that.
Yeah.
And I think realistically, we all had a ton of fun, and I hope that chat enjoyed, and I hope the hosts enjoyed, and I'm just glad to be here.
All right, and from our commentators, Jack.
Well, it's a shame I couldn't join in and kick these guys' asses and show them how it's really done, but I enjoyed watching it. I think they all played well. Colt over there crying because Scales dead. Rip Scales.
Should we hold a funeral
Rip
ceremony?
Scales.
Oh, absolutely, hold a funeral.
Oh,
always.
hold the funeral ceremony.
Probably only get 1 or 2 guests visiting for the funeral, but and last but not least, Elena, how did thoughts on the race here today?
I was only here for like 50-ish minutes or so. But it was fun for what I was here for. I enjoyed it. It was definitely a good way to just be here for the time that I wasn't. Again, I'm sorry for sleeping in. Please don't kill me.
I still love that you tried to stay up because you thought you would sleep in, and then you ended up passing out and sleeping in anyways.
I knew I was going to sleep in if I just fell
Alarms
asleep
are a thing.
anyway.
I don't know. If anyone
Alarms never work
realizes,
for me,
but-
which is
They
a
never
Not
work
good
for me
enough
too.
alarms,
I can have
guess.
3 alarms and they don't wake me up.
Damn, that's wild.
But so thanks to everyone at Bingothon for letting us join in on the fun. Thank you to everybody who donated during the race here and getting towards those incentives, getting towards those donation goals. And I hope that Bingothon continues to be an amazing marathon, all in support of Fred Hutch. So we're going to throw it back to our hosts. Thank you again for having us. And we hope you guys have a good day.
Charlie's Honorous, take it away.
Yep, thank you. Hello, lovely listeners. So, I do have a donation to read out. It is a $20 donation from Monster Fenric with no comment. Thank you very much, Monster Fenric.
And talking about donations and stuff, we still have a lot of cool upcoming goals and bid wars. The one that is next up would be the Road Trip Adventure Reach the End of the Game incentive, which is currently at $10 out of 35. That game will be coming up right after the interview. And it's about... There we go. A cave lighter will use speedrun tricks to reach the final cutscene of the game and initiate the final race after the bingo is complete. So just a little bit of a bonus content after the bingo of that game is done.
Yeah, we really always love bonus content. And what's also a bit of bonus content for you listeners is an interview with Guppy from Fred Hutch. So he's going to talk to, I believe, Floha and Pikastrof a little bit about what Fred Hutch does in terms of research. So Fred Hutch has been doing a lot of research into COVID-19 vaccinations, and Guppy was very kind to have a little bit of an interview with Bingothon in the summer, and he's going to be doing that again. So you definitely want to stay tuned and hear a little bit more about what Fred Hutch is up to and where your dollars are going.
By the way, guys, this was not planned for us, but there was just another donation that came
Whoa.
in. A pretty big one at that.
Yeah.
We got $50
Woo!
from Epic Yoshi. That name definitely checks out here. With the comment, bingo is one of my favorite ways to further enjoy a game. Great to see it going towards supporting such a wonderful cause. Thank you very much, Epic Yoshi, for this very
epic.
kind and generous donation.
Yeah, awesome. So this is sort of the end of our hosting shift for now. We'll both be back later on in the event. I think there was something else we wanted to shout out about. If you're watching on the Bingothon channel,
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the donation totally throw a curveball in my plan here. Yeah, maybe you noticed, or maybe you don't, that we're currently streaming Bingothon on 2 Twitch channels at the same time, on the Speedruns Live channel and on the Bingothon channel. We would like to invite all of you who are watching on the Bingothon channel to jump over to the Speedruns Live channel, because chat here is more likely to be read, and especially for the interview that is coming up. If you have any questions, the chances of your question getting in are higher when you're on the Speedruns Live channel here. Yeah.
Yep. So if it looks as though this is coming to the end of our shift. So it's been great hosting during Monster Rancher 2. I've been wanting to watch a Monster Rancher I can't even say that. Monster Rancher run for a really, really long time, and it's been great to have that opportunity. So I hope you had fun as well. We'll both be back later on in the event, and stay tuned for that very important interview with Guppy from Fred Hutch.
Yeah, coming up are Nordic Soy and Lego.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be a pretty amazing duo. So yeah, stay tuned and enjoy the music and enjoy the interview in just a little bit.